debut, and he's come as buddies of our good friend Avi, who's going to work the tweets over there. Avi, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, you're looking dapper as ever.
Ah, thank you very much.
So where did you dredge Tim up from? Tell us about it. I know he's a big Hans man.
He's a very big Hans man.
Yeah. Are you old buddies?
We're all old buddies, I suppose. Yeah, he's a friend of one of my cousin's good mates as well.
A friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend, as usual.
Good stuff. Well, we're delighted to have you on board, Tim, as Daniel Vettori is continuing, the evergreen, bespectacled darling, and he's pushed to mid-off for no run by Warner. The Aussies are 68 for 1 here in the 11th over Watson and Warner, two of our favourites. And there's a little dab here from Davy Warner for a single on the leg side. Knuckle, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Yes, after a very long weekend last week, it took me the best part of the first half of the week to recover from it. And now I'm back into no sleep again.
Yeah, it's going to be a big old weekend. Don't forget all that rugby that we need to watch as well.
Yep.
There's plenty of sport for our eyeballs to digest.
It's a League Cup final as well.
Oh, I don't
care about the League Cup final.
I do.
Vettori continues. He's round the wicket to Watson, and he's cramping him for room. He can't get a run. Spurs. Chelsea, of course. Oh, well, look, it's just a minor pot between them.
As one of my fellow Arsenal supporting friends said, the best thing that could happen is a sinkhole opening up under Wembley.
Maybe. Here comes Vettori in quite sort of old-fashioned 90s style specs, but he's on the money. You thought Vettori might have upgraded the gone for some tortoise shells or something these days.
I think there's a branding thing going on there. I think he's been it's brand Vettori.
Yeah. Oh, you think so?
I don't think they're actually branded.
Right.
I think it's part of his
look. He
He
should do. He's that. So anyway, he's giving up a run to Watson with fifth ball of the over.
We are back. That was all very quick or very long. Depending on whether it seemed like an endless bloody break. I thought it was supposed to be 40 minutes. And it was, felt like it. Don't know why that was, but maybe they're trying to get more people in the ground. Will join us shortly. Hendo's gone home. We are depleted until Gary turns up. Fred's decided he can't be asked to drive for 2.5 hours to do 10 overs or whatever it was.
Ooh.
I thought it was out.
Chris Wokes starts, the top scorer in England's innings. He bowls to David Warner, and that one just beats the outside edge.
Let's give him a jingle.
Game's on between you and getting called like that drop by either looks like the hood on a. When you talk, your mouth looks like a. But you will run your mouth at me.
That's for David Warner.
Wokes right arm over, bowls, and Warner just dabs down on that one, plays on the onside, no run.
We have this jingle for the bowler.
He's on Instagram, and he's a Twitter fan. On the Ashes tour, not Ben Stokes, but he'll have to do.
Yeah, doing well so far today. Warner drives through the offside, and that'll be the first runs of the innings for. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, angling it across the left-handed Warner. Plenty of whip for that one, and Warner was able to caress that one and picks up a boundary.
Indeed. Oh, look, there's Gary.
Yeah.
So I want to get the door.
And Wokes bowls, and it's just played to mid-on, no run. The target, if you were not already aware, is 197. England were bowled out in just under 45 overs for 196. Somewhat of a recovery. They were 8 for 5.
Yeah, big recovery.
Yeah,
really.
so they've done well. Might not be anywhere near enough, but Australia will need to earn the runs as Wokes comes in again, and that one goes through the keeper. Full shot from there. David Warner's tried to pull that one, and he misses it, and they get through for 2. It must have been off the bat, as runs are not signalled, but they've been credited to David Warner.
Oh, it's an inside edge, wasn't it?
Yeah, inside edge, almost played on. Josh Butler dives, but was unable to get to it, quite a long way down the leg side. And 6 so far of this first over. And Wokes comes in. That one is left alone, so we've had 1 over, and it's 6-0.
Yeah, good start. How England wanted to start, but we didn't. We got Roy out. Second ball, was it second ball when he was out?
Yeah, it was second ball, yeah, that's right.
And it all went downhill from there, really. But a good opening spell, as you said, by Cummins and Hazelwood. And hopefully, if England can do something the same, presumably our next bowler will be this man, won't it?
Do you know Mark Wood?
Yes, he is an England bowler, quite good and pretty quick.
So just a normal guy.
Of course, except for just one thing.
What?
He thinks that he's a horse.
Right. What?
And he'll be bowling to the other batsman.
So full of spunk. Hell, I like me a little edge, though, man. Till you're burning up. Hell, till you get enough. Hell, till your love is red. Hell, love you till you're dead.
And his first delivery is wide of off stump, so there's no interest from Head in playing at that one.
Quite loopy, wasn't it?
Yeah, was it almost on the full as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the footage cut back to the game, typically in BT style, right at the point of delivery.
That's it. So Wood is ready for the second delivery. Right arm over. And that one's close as it hits Head on the pad, but down leg side. So half-hearted appeal.
It whipped straight through him. You're supposed to leap out of your chair and say what a thrilling ball that was.
So it was
one of the best balls of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Sort of halfway down the pitch, got Head leaping in the air, trying to keep that one out. Obviously far too high for LBW. Butler takes it about waist height. Wood again, well wide of off stump. I think that one might be called on wides. No, that's kept within the lines, as it was going wider and wider.
It was too high, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was undoubtedly too high, but yeah, it was pitching a lot closer, pitching in line, whereas I thought it might have been just outside leg. Oh. And Mark Wood's ready to come again. Does his road runner motion at the start of his run up, and that one is played by Head straight back to the stumps at the non-striker's end. Six without loss. Just the 10 deliveries bowled in this Australia innings so far. Required rate only 3.95.
How many overs do you reckon to knock this off? 30?
I think they'll need more than that. As Wood bowls, and this one again defended by Travis Head. Mark Wood collects on his follow through with one head. I reckon in the sort of 35 to 40 region perhaps.
Okay.
I think it might be
Yeah, I
a
don't think
little bit slow going.
Yeah, it's not the easiest wicket to bat on, it's true.
At the moment, England are keeping them behind the run rate that they want.
That's it. So Wood comes in. And short ball. And Butler has to take that full stretch above his head, but it's been called a wide for being above head height. So was on for a maiden there, but unfortunately, well wide. Head's ducked a long way under that, but I think even another half of Head, it would have still been a wide. So Wood tries again, and that one's on the stumps. and they set off for a quick single, so Head will retain the strike, and end the second over 8 without loss. We got
Good.
tweets,
Yeah, we
Will,
do.
we're
Sorry,
backing up.
I've been, I had the mother of all power naps, and then I've just woken up and I can't find my phone anywhere. How do you lose a phone during a power nap?
I don't know. It's probably fallen down the back of the sofa, isn't it?
Maybe something like that, but one of you might have to call it eventually. Right, Josh Holland. Well, that's not what I was hoping to wake up to. A lot of people are saying that. Jane with a Y. Just woke up to check the scores. What the actual fuck, England? And Surrey GA 5-5. And TC scored the most. Go Surrey boys. What do you mean he scored the most? No, he didn't.
Woke scored the most.
Ian Shaw, wakey. Wokes is coming in now. Bloody typical. I send the message as you switch back. Yes.
Hey, we're on it. Don't worry.
Yeah. And Wokes is on again to start his second over, and it's played to Owen Morgan at cover. No run.
It's tempting just to fall asleep next door, but someone has to keep an eye on it. And Hendo decided that he's got to go to work at 5 o'clock this afternoon, so he better go at 6:30 in the morning, so he can get his 12 hours sleep that Hendo needs. And then Gary decided to turn up, which is we're very grateful for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have just been the three of us.
Oh, but it was Roger McCann on air during the highlights. Tell these two teams at Adelaide to wait, will you? Says Abhishek.
And Wokes posts
no.
ahead, and that's driven past extra cover for another boundary.
In fact, yes, I've got 4. 1, 2, 3.
So, second time that Wokes has been driven like that, once by Warner and once by Travis Head.
At what stage do we say that Australia had a better start than England?
Now.
12 for no wicket,
After
8 for
3
5.
deliveries,
yeah.
I think it was. Wokes to Head. Shoulders, arms, leapt through to Josh Butler.
I mean, I don't rate Head, I've got to say. I haven't seen much of him, but I don't know about you guys, but
Big Bash, I sort of think of him, mainly only seen him in T20s. He's obviously one of the better players in the Big Bash, but yeah, I'm not sure 50 over cricket's quite his thing, but it's a good opportunity today, isn't it? It's a low total.
Yeah, true.
I mean, in some ways you can't win, because if he does well, they say, oh, well, it's only a low total. If he fails, you say, oh, he's not very good.
Yeah.
As that one goes through to the keeper.
Tough luck, Head. Yeah, I mean, that's it. If they win, they'll go, well, there was no pressure anyway.
Morning, Diana Patterson. Could you get the
Hello.
Could you get the big gorilla out the way? What's she talking about?
She was
9
talking about the
minutes
picture
ago.
on the screen, yeah,
Yes.
which I have got rid of.
Okay. Mog, it's been a long time since that particular Warner jingle floated to the top of the pond.
Yeah, indeed. I wasn't expecting that one.
As Wokes bowls to Head, and it just played out 2 points. And there'll be 1 to come in this over, 4 from it so far.
Roger makes a good point. I think we're all cross that England just didn't bat through their overs, and I think when we were 6 down with about 19 overs to go, it was kind of just bat 3 overs and get 225, and
Exactly.
it's a lovely game. But we ended up 5 overs short with everyone playing aggressive shots. So his is tonight's why the fuck topic is why the fuck did the lower order, middle order go to Tonk when they still had 5 overs remaining.
And Wokes completes the over with Head just driving to mid-off, but it's stopped and there's no run. 12 without loss.
Stupidly, they decided that's the way that we play now, isn't it? We can never revert back to anything other than how we play now, and we must always be chasing the game.
Surely we all prefer that though to the
to
where
a
we used to
certain
get
degree.
good starts, but
then fade away later.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Atherton played in a lot of one-days for England, I recall. I was looking at the scorecard for the World Cup quarter-final against Sri Lanka in '96 when England got, they ground their way to 235, but it's kind of Atherton, 30 off 60 balls, and there's just a lot of that going on. Phil de Freitas was our star that day, coming in at number 6 or 7, and Sri Lanka just said bang, 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 and after 9 overs they were 110 for 2. And that was it.
Well, the same in even the 2011 World Cup. They went out to Sri Lanka in similar fashion. This one's pulled down to mid-wicket. There's a long chase by Rashid and Tom Curran. And they get through for 3. They do. Warner adds 3 to his total. He goes to 9. And 15 without loss.
Maybe have a look at Head's first-class records when casting aspersions.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be undone, but I'm just going on what I've seen rather than going on the stats. Yeah, he's probably a far better player than I've given him credit for. But
this is often the case, isn't it? But you only get to see what you get to see. I haven't really seen much of him. That's my first impressions are that he's not that great. But
yeah. Head plays that delivery from Wood to mid-off. There's no run. Possible overthrow though with a wayward throw, but it's been backed up, so they stick at no score.
As he would fall over once again. He's always falling over, isn't he?
Does that a bit.
Steve Kellett says that when the highlight of England's innings was when they were 0 for 0 of 0.1. But I think all you late to wake uppers might be assuaged to hear that we could easily have been out for 28.
Yeah.
There's Wood bowls and it's just played to mid-on, no run.
Any clue as to where Mal Loy is these days? The one near Sultan McGrath famed fellow. Yeah, who was Mal Loy?
Northampton and Lancashire and ODI England.
Yeah, he was ODI.
Sort of 07 World Cup and the series that England won in the ODIs just before that World Cup in Australia.
He used to do a lot of ramps, didn't he, Malloy? Just get on one knee and try and ramp everyone from outside off stump or off the stumps.
So Wood is switching to around the wickets to bowl to Head, and that one almost gets through him in that just managed to get half inside edge on that and played straight back down to the bowler.
Well, first class for Travis Head, average of 35.1, so it's hardly the raid on Entebbe.
No, I mean it's okay, but it's not rubbish. It's not really, really good, is it? So
ODI is 35 and 32 matches, and it's the strike rate in 2020 is the 138. That's excellent.
That's it. And that one's pulled through mid wicket. That's going to be a comfortable boundary for Head. And Head's on 9, and there's 1 to come on this Wood over. 19 without loss.
England needed a good start here today, and they haven't found it.
No, they haven't. So Wood is going to persist with around the wickets to Travis Head. He bowls, and that one's just tucked backward of square. And there's a fielder coming round. Is that Tom Curran? They get 2 to end the 4th over, 21 without loss.
But we must make ourselves feel better that a certain team was chasing 127 the other day in a World Cup quarter-final and were 47 without loss, looking fine, and then we're all out for 90.
Yep, so
true.
That was England, of course.
Yeah. We don't have a crazy ginger spin though, do we?
Johnny Bairstow to
we've
bowl.
Got Rashid.
Yeah, Rashid to 8 for 35. Yeah. That'll do the job.
That certainly would.
So just the England innings, 4 ducks in there, which was 4 of the top 6, which is far from ideal if you want to be winning any game of cricket.
And the other 2 in the top 6 only scored 36 between them, which gives you pretty much the story of the beginning of this game.
Yeah. Well, Wokes' top score is 78, more than double the next best batsman, which was Tom Curran, batting at 10, scoring 35.
Yeah.
So new over, and that's fooled through mid-wicket again by Woke, off Wokes. 4 more to Warner. Yeah, sort of identical ball delivery. Wokes bowled there as Wood did at the end of the previous over.
Just sat up until it hit me, didn't it?
Yeah, just different bowler, different batsman, but the same delivery. Punished through the same area. And that's a better ball, which is just played out on the offside, no run.
Dr. Dan is in for the first time today. Fixed
Hello.
managed a problem with Super Laptop just in time for a late live sketch of Glenn Maxwell catching Chris Wokes. That was a shame. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, he's got the beard, he's got the ball, short, not much off the ground. And it was the most depressing moment of the day.
Yeah.
So.
I wanted him to get a ton. Would have been nice.
And Wokes bowls, and that one's hit straight back at him, but it bounces up in the air. And that is a run, 25 without loss.
I was a bit quiet, says the green room.
Okay.
You're speaking to the top of the mic.
There you go. I will try to. It's because the mic just loses its
position.
Yeah.
Aroused.
They're quite
position.
heavy, these things.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Yeah. Anyway.
So Wokes is in as that one. Yeah, that's the first wicket for England.
Hey, we got a wicket.
25 for 1. David Warner goes for 13, caught behind off Joss Butler.
Just played, terrible shot really.
Yeah,
just prodded at it, didn't he?
And that's another failure for Warner, relatively speaking.
Yeah,
isn't it? He hasn't. You normally expect him to get 1 ton somewhere along the line, wouldn't you, or one destructive 70 or 80, but hasn't managed that this series.
Yeah, he quite quiet in the test. He wasn't that. He got
100 at Melbourne.
Yeah, but that was the flattest pitch of
yeah,
them all,
that's
wasn't it?
right.
A couple of 50s here and there, but he wasn't spectacular, was he? We were expecting much more of him, I think. But then I guess, well, apart from Smith, I mean, both sides.
And yeah, well, I was hoovering up all the 100 to 30 I could find on David Warner the other day, being top run scorer in this match, or for Australia, because the rumours that Finch wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
So I was right to take the price, but unless there's a dramatic collapse, I've done my money.
Yeah. Who will be next in? Who's going to be at number 3?
Cameron White is down as number 3 on the scorecard.
That's right, isn't it?
Let her face at first just go sleep. Turn the wider shade of pale.
Cameron White!
Has a head ever played with a foot? Asks Slungo. Or against a foot? Oh, we'll have to think about that. Perhaps a wood? Now, what's the pun there with a head against a wood? Or with a wood? Anyway, thank you, Slungo.
Something about wood.
After this ball, Roger Melly.
Yeah, as Wokes bowls first delivery to Cameron White, and it just goes straight through to Joss Butler. Roger Melly.
Yeah, after Wales were flogged 73-0 by the Wallabies, their coach asked if they took any positives out of the game, was asked if they took any positives out of the game. He thought for a moment and said, I thought they ran onto the field well.
Classy.
But I think England will... It's funny, isn't it? A game of cricket is so layered and complex that, as this is defended, is
that's
that
right.
England will already, at the halfway stage, take many positives out of today.
They
Wokes
will.
is batting, Cohen's batting, Ali and Morgan's grit, but they need a few more positives yet.
They do. Hopefully they'll see some from the bowling. 25 for 1, so just 4 off that over and the 1 wicket. And
B. Mitch, OE Head, has also been captain of South Australia at a young age to success. So that's another thing about him. Thank God for TC, says Surreygal. Without him it would have been much worse. Now all he needs to do is bowl Oz out single-handed.
That'd be nice.
and that's a flash, and that's gone over cover points for a boundary. Travis Head, first ball of the over, boundary.
Now my innings going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
He flashed hard, width outside off stump, and it was good 6 feet above the fielders there. As Wood blows again, and that's wide of second slip, or where second slip would have been, and that's 4 more to Australia and Head.
Well, first and a half slip.
Yeah, he flashed again at that one, but that one was a bit nearer him. And Joe Roots at first slip, he dived, but
well out of his reach.
Well out of his reach. So Head taking some risks.
It's a shame. Another wicket here for England, and they will be not back in the game, but
but
15% or something.
In the scoreboard, it showed 8, and this time he airily hits that one through mid wicket for 4 runs. So that's 3 in a row.
3 fours in a row.
2 + 2 is a member.
We saw. I was at the SCG to see Dilshan score 6 fours in a row off Mitch Johnson, and this is the other day there were 8 fours in a row. There were 6 in the over and 2 fours just before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was off James Faulkner.
Really?
One of the big bash games. Yeah,
pretty amazing.
6 fours in a row, as that delivery comes straight past or straight through to Butler. No run.
There's another one that's gone off the board, isn't it? I mean, he was.
He's really struggling, and he's also coming in at the end of the innings where he used to sort of finish quite destructively, but he's just sort of chewing up balls now and struggling to clear the ropes or even sort of rotate the strike very well.
Oh well.
How do you pronounce the Twitter handle of Fuck You Life? Fuck You Life.
Wood bowls and Head defends.
Fuku Life says England scored 8 for 5 and then 188 for 5, which means Australia could do the opposite. No, crazy idea. It would be a tie. But
I'd like to commentate on that if possible. Get our money back then as well.
Did he flash hard at Wood? Asks Abhishek. For those who didn't hear it, we had a delightful little analogy earlier on of Cohen exposes Wood. And it woke me up, I tell you.
So Wood comes in, 12 off this over so far, as that one's again defended on the offside. No run, 37 for 1, but Head lived dangerously in that over.
Yeah, got a bit lucky there, didn't he?
First ball of the over, I thought it was a decent boundary, but the other 2 could have quite easily seen his demise.
Imagine with White batting at 3, playing for his average as usual. England are in this, and then hashtag not out White. So if White is not out at the end of the game, are England going to win it? Probably not. Jessica, you guys still think this is a bad pitch? Wink. 37 for 1 off 6. Ouch. Australia ahead of where England were at this stage, who were.
It's going to be like that for a while.
For a while, yeah.
Wokes bowls, and that one's pushed through wide of mid-on. There's a chase for the field. Alex Hales. And are they able to come back for 3?
But amusingly, Australia were 5 runs ahead of England the other day up until the beginning of the 49th over, and they still lost by 19 runs.
Yeah, I know.
So that was Jas Butler, and today it was out for 0.
Yeah.
That's what will happen. So it's Wokes, and he's bowling from, is it the river end? Or the city end, or it's the one with the big grandstand, the new big grandstand, as he bowls, and that one's pulled ugly, just past mid on, and that's going to be 4 more.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
He's just been told to go out there and do it as quick as possible, hasn't he?
He's not looked particularly convincing, but another boundary to him, and that's what it will say in the scorebook. He goes to 27, and he's lifted his strike rate to above a runnable. Will, or one of our tweeters said about a 138 strike rate.
Yeah, in 2020s, yeah.
2020, yeah, so he's
destructive. And
looking
he's,
to get
riding
towards
his luck.
that. That's it. That one's played to backward point, no run. Australia 44 for 1. 153 more needed in loads and loads of time.
Well, after 6.3, England were 8 for 5.
Yep.
And Australia are 44 for 1.
Yep, so, well, that tells its own story.
It does indeed. How we fucked it up.
Woke's bowls, and that one's cut. And there's a diving stop. That means that there is no run. There's a wayward throw at the stumps, but it's being backed up, so Australia unable to take an overthrow.
I blame the 5-4 movement of everyone crowing that it was going to be 5-4 to us at the end of this series in this Australian summer. But
we've still got a couple of ODIs, I mean a couple of T20s, haven't we?
Exactly, so let's say at the end of this series we're 5-4 down, and then win the 2020s, yeah, they can be up.
And Woakes bowls, and that one is close to head. Woakes makes a gentle inquiry, the umpire, but I don't think he believes that it's out.
There was no position whatsoever, was it?
Yeah.
Just flashed at it without moving his feet.
Very similar to how Warner got out, actually, wasn't it?
Just jabbing at it. Oh, excuse me.
So 7 from this over so far, 1 delivery to come, which Woakes is going to come in, right arm over, and that's driven through the covers, and that's going to mean 4 more.
Oh dear, oh dear.
So after 3, the scribes would write 4.
48 for 1 off 7. So we won't be hanging around, I don't think.
No.
Unless the spinners really
put the screw on.
Yeah.
Well, you imagine he'll just carry on going until he gets out now, won't he? Try and do it as quick as possible.
So replays of the England top order. Joe Root out for naught, hooking.
Mr. Ed does that thing that all tweeters hate, is tweeting exactly what we're saying while they're sending the tweet, which was giving the score comparison. That he has finished his with any chance of rain.
No.
Sorry, it's 36 degrees and climbing. They're underway on the 3rd day of Johannesburg, says Nakul Pandey.
Oh, yeah.
Game teasingly poised.
Yeah,
India.
it is.
51 for 1, leading by 44. Worth keeping an eye on. It certainly is one of the most exciting test matches of the year 2018 so far.
Quiet day at work yesterday, I watched quite a lot of it, and it was very gripping stuff. Tom Curran is going to come into the attack. Get his jingle ready. He's going to bowl the first delivery, and that one's on the stumps, but it's worked through mid-wicket, but stopped, no run.
Oh well.
List A average or economy rates for Tom Curran is 5.46 from 54 matches, a best of 5 for 16.
Hello.
Duckworth Lewis loves you.
And Curran's ready again. That one's left alone. Goes straight through to Joss Butler. I think I was at Tom Curran's List A debut, which was at the GS Bowl, Surrey against Hampshire back in 2013. Bowled nicely. Obviously, you sort of always take note of people who are sons of former professional players, don't you?
Yeah.
More than you perhaps take notice of other players. So followed their careers quite closely. As that one is bowled, just played out of the offside, no run.
Well, they were just always taking exams, weren't they? So, and this bowler had sat his geography GCSE this morning.
Exactly. What is our jingle for? I think it's going to play, isn't it? No, it's not going to play.
It's like that line in after this. Oh! Go on!
Yes! So Tom Curran gets a wicket. LBW, Cameron White for 3. A full delivery that's just sort of pitching, I reckon, halfway up middle stump, as plumb as you get.
Sometimes we don't mind completely butchering the wicket for a jingle if it means getting the wicket.
Absolutely.
Yeah, plumb.
Wonderful.
Basically hits him on the knee roll, and brilliant from Tom Curran in his second delivery. No, fourth delivery, what more than that?
Well, England aren't getting thrashed today. I mean, the chance of them losing by 8 wickets is very, very slim. So, if they lose this game by, let's say, 5 wickets, they've really done quite well.
Yeah, well, they got obviously Steve Smith to come in now, which
has he been moderately quiet this series so far? What's he done? Not much.
No, a few 40s, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Travis Head, you know, he's blazing away at one end, but you sort of wonder if there's one with Head's name on it to come. So
that'd be nice. And then things might all change.
Yeah, exactly. It's a long way down. I mean, obviously Stoinis, Marsh, you know, there's good players to come, but yeah, it's a fairly long tail today.
Well, certainly not recognised.
I mean, you got Cummins at 8, haven't you, on the scorecard? So,
well, I mean, Cameron White's been a terrible experiment, hasn't he? I mean, he's a bugger all.
Well, Slungo's going to be pleased then. I could try to be eloquent, but fuck it. When I see White on a cricket field, I want to punch him in the groin, but he's used another word for groin. Adam Stockman, we need a golden arm hat trick. Come on, Cohen. I don't know if you tweeted that before or after the wicket. It was 2 minutes ago. You got it right. Oh, this is Fuku Live. You got it right. Fuku Live. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Fuku Live. I'm sorry that I couldn't read. It is a very playful Twitter handle, though. I'm surprised they even let you have it. Right, here's Piggy.
48 for 2. So Curran's going to bowl to the Australian captain, and that one's left alone. Shoulders, arms, straight through to Joss Butler.
We're going to have...
Stop fidgeting, Steve.
Just stand still.
Stop playing with yourself.
Oh, it's very unsightly.
Stop fidgeting, Steve.
Stop fiddling about.
Stop playing with yourself.
Oh dear.
Stop fidgeting, Steve.
You look a bit mental.
Stop playing with yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Stop fidgeting, Steve.
Oh.
Stop playing with yourself.
You will go blind.
And Curran comes in to complete the over, and it's just played to Owen Morgan at point, so that's a wicket maiden to start with for the Surrey man. Well done.
That came in a bit off the seam, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, sort of angled in. It was pitched outside off. The impact was obviously in line and hitting sort of the top of middle stump. So 48 for 2. So has that made this game interesting, or have we just...
Well, if we got Smith
false
out...
promise as usual.
Well, no, if we got Smith out now, and then, as you say, Head made a mistake. Even if he gets another 20 runs and Head makes a mistake. And what did I say originally? I said if they got to 70 for 5, it could be quite interesting. Yeah, which isn't far off. And then we'd have to get a couple of quick wickets now.
But yeah, Cummins batting at 8 seems one place too high for me. Moeen Ali's going to come into the attack. So an early introduction. The England spinner.
Moeen, 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 Moeen. I'm begging of you, please don't take third man.
And his first delivery is right arm around the wicket, and it's just straight to mid-on where there's no run. And this time it's played on the offside by Head, and again he can't get a single. And I wonder if they'll try and sort of really go after Moeen Ali, and that normally really helps Ali, or they're going to be a bit more watchful to him, as this one's pushed just in front of square leg, they're going to be able to take a single.
We should be able to get this, but I'm having a blank. Abhishek, here's a quiz question. Name the city. The name of the city that was changed in 1995, and it was then named after its most famous international cricket ground. The earlier city name had some decidedly negative connotations. Give me the name of the new city. Somewhere in India?
Say that again?
1995, a city changes its name after its most famous international cricket ground, and its earlier name had decidedly negative connotations. Give me the name of the new city. So, Madras, Chapok, no.
Could be. Ali Bowles has just played backward of square for 1.
Mumbai,
Oh
Bombay.
yeah, what did Calcutta become? Chennai?
Calcutta.
Kolkata. Not Ceylon, of course, because that's way before. Oh, interesting. Are we being silly? Has anyone changed their name in England lately?
And Ali Bowles, that just goes to Rashid at backward point. No run. So just 2 so far from this over. And Australia have brought their 50 up in this over. 50 for 2. And Ali Bowles, and that one's just tucked to long leg, and they run a quick single. So 3 from the over, 51 for 2.
Well, we've got a guest coming in. Is it Centurion? I know there's something weird about its name. Don't think so. That's no, I'm stuck. Right, Mr. Ed, the Cameron White Experiment sounds like a band name, a band that would not work either.
Yeah.
That's caught up for now, except for Knuckle tweeting us a picture of Dan Norcross, who's clearly colourblind, wearing a suitably dreadful shirt. On Australia Day.
Oh, apparently it's Dan Norcross dress-up day on TMS today. He's mighty honoured, apparently.
So Curran's going to start his second over. Australia 51 for 2 after 9. 146 more to win off about 3 million balls.
3 and over.
Yeah, obviously if England do win this, it's going to be because they've bowled Australia out rather than restricted them.
Look, Gary's wearing chinos
and
today.
Curran bowls a Harmison wide, but ends up actually being taken by Joss Butler, so being a little bit unkind there, but well wide.
Wide. Right, what are we going to do after this over, boys?
Yeah.
What's Gary going to start off with?
What do you fancy, Gary? A bit of tweets to warm you up. Will, you go into the commentary chair? Do you want to come across here?
Okay. And
oh dear,
he's lost his rhythm there, Curran. So after a wicket maiden to start with, he's bowled 2 wides in succession.
The widest wides you ever see. 2 almost Harmison wides.
I mean, they've got that sort of. I mean, they're pitching, well wide. Lucky.
They were nearly Harmison at opening day of Ashes.
Yeah,
wides.
that's right. Says that one's played down the ground, and that's going to be 4 runs through long off.
Ugh, God damn. Wides, boundaries, what's going on?
Such a shame, really, after such a good first over. But, I mean, he's still got time to pull it back.
Not a lot of time.
No,
With the situation of the game.
Let's see what he can do with hopefully the second legal delivery of the over, and that's a much better ball that's played on the offside for no run.
This is interesting. Now then, I think we do have the answer, and it is a good one. Katie Scott, is it Centurion? I asked you that. And Knuckles says, good call, because Centurion's previous name was Verwoodburg, and Verwood was, he calls him the chief architect of the apartheid system. I would call him the founder of apartheid. I have an interesting thing to say about Verwood.
As Curran bowls, and that one's just driven, but just finds the man at cover, no run.
I have the signed menu by him and Macmillan the night before Macmillan made the wind of change speech, so you can actually see what they dined on, these two men, and it was a friendly dinner, I think. And little did Verwood know that he was going to get hit between the eyes by Macmillan the next day and say, you thought we were friends? Well, buddy, we're not. But yeah, signed menu by Verwood and Macmillan. I don't know what to do with it.
And this one is hit firmly to Owen Morgan at mid-on, no run.
Stick it in an auction. Throw it back.
Yeah. Well, I've got a complete set of Kennedy Christmas cards from the White House from his 2 years there, and I wonder how much they're worth as well.
Well, that's going to be
eBay says
serious.
they're worth $5,000 each, but I think that they're going to be worth even more in 100 years, so I'm going to sell them then.
Wow, good luck to you.
The Kennedy Museum, which I visited in Boston last May, has just played again to mid-on. Not as firmly this time, but still the same result, no run. Just showing Curran's sort of a run-up. You know, lots of arms and moving
parts.
Yep, here and there.
The Hawkster points out that at one stage today, just 2 minutes ago, India and Australia were both 51 for 2 at the same time.
Ooh. So India have already lost a wicket today.
Yep.
As Curran bowls, and that one's driven through extra cover, and that's going to be 4 more.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the scorecard. Let's go with this one.
So we're going to swap around, and is it I'm going there?
You're going to come here.
And we're all sort of moving along one with Gary joining us, and they're going to have a
I'm going to play a bit of music.
Yeah.
Alternative cricket commentary, bringing you laughs, bringing you jingles, bringing you joy. We are Gorillas. We need your Patreon.com/Guerilla Cricket.
We've some confusion here as Will was ready for a rest, but little does he know that he's got to do some ball by ball for a little while.
That awful moment when you're walking out the room to pee and look for your phone and have a nap, and somebody points to the vacant BBB chair. Moeen Ali is on. He bowls. That's on the off stump and into short mid wicket for no run, and you'll also see a Verwood tweet in there. You don't have to do that either, Gary. We've talked about that, and fascinating it was too. And a very long tweet about Australia Day, which I'm not sure if you're going to have the heart to get through or not. But you're pretty loquacious. You might be able to take it on as Ali defends this into short cover for no run. I mean, not Ali, the batsman, who's Smith. He faces again, and this one he's whipping through mid-wicket, who dives, and there's a sweeper out there, so they just take a single. 62 for 2. England add a couple of wickets onto the total. It's an equal game. England are only 2 pills away from equalising the game. It's a strange old thing, that, isn't it?
Well, good morning. I'm glad to be here. First time for me in the pyjama game. And I did just catch a glimpse of Joss Butler's dismissal. That was a bit of a ball from Joss Hazlewood, wasn't it?
That was
Dear me, that was a ball. Well, if this were a test match, I would go into Ravi's interest in colonial history, this being Australia Day, but we're a bit short of time, really, in the one day as to open up that subject, so I'm going to perhaps save that for another day. Our very own Katie Scott has told us.
Yes, up down the wicket by Head, but it can't beat cover. Go ahead.
She indicates a link to name changes in the history section on Wikipedia, so that will have, you know, Chennai and Madras and Bengaluru and Bangalore and Centurion and so on.
Ali bowls. This is on his legs, but mid-wicket saves it. No run. 62 for 2. Good over this by Moeen. Can he finish it with just a single off it? And he tries to do just that now, and it's played to in between point and cover, and they get the single, so 2 off that. Head has 42 or 42 balls. He needs getting rid of Sharpish, and Smith always needs getting rid of, but get rid of those two, England have a game on.
On a slightly lighter note, on a very serious subject of post-colonialism, or in fact the impact of colonialism on post-colonialism, James Humberstone says the missus really pleased that I wore an England shirt to dinner on Australia/Invasion Day. And there's a very old-fashioned look on his face as the missus is glaring at him, so I've retweeted that bit of amusement. And, well, I mean, England have got to attack here, haven't they? They've had 2 slips for a little while. I was a bit disappointed that when Head did flash through the slips area, there was only 1 man there. I mean, as we've all pointed out, it's bleeding obvious, England are not going to restrict Australia here, so they've got to get him out. So when they flash, they've got to have men there to catch them. And Joe Root was at first slip.
Second slip, yeah.
Nobody at second slip, and I think that's a chance missed. I mean, Owen Morgan probably correctly gets a lot of plaudits for his captaincy, but really, in situations like this, you've got to have catching men there, and particularly when Head is flashing at pretty much anything outside off stump, you've got to have 2, I would argue 3 slips.
Moeen, Adu Rashid is on. His best is 5 for 27 in one day. So is he going to rip a couple through today to get England back into this match? 134 to win. It's not that many. He starts.
Adu Rashid on the 45. Adu Rashid on the 45.
This is whipped out into the deep square, deep mid-wicket area for a single.
And you can turn it both ways, and you can turn it, and you can turn it both ways, and you can turn it on the 45.
I noticed that Glenn Maxwell was 12th manning it earlier on.
Yeah.
It seems absolutely extraordinary to me that Glenn Maxwell can't get in this Australia 11 and Cameron White can.
Yeah, he's in great form, Maxwell, as well, but he's are you aware that he changed the game, Maxwell, as Rashid bowls, and this is on off stump and just defended. Are you aware of this?
That he caught
Wokes, he caught Wokes.
That's where I saw him on the brief run through of wickets, because Maxwell, he might not be a great test cricketer, he brings plenty to white ball game.
Well, I saw his 100 against Sri Lanka in the World Cup at the SCG. It was an absolute slogfest, incredible innings. I think he got from 50 to 100 in about 15 balls or something. And this is played out to mid-wicket for no run. It's a good start this by Adil. And Smith is just having a look here. He's on 2 of 8 balls. Fidgeting, crouching. Then he drives, full sleeve. Bad inside edge. He could easily have played on there, as he famously did in the Test match. And he gets a single. A streaky single. Head eyeing up his 50.
Yeah, he was almost a parody of Stephen Smith there, wasn't he? Trying to drag a ball from about an 8th stump line into the leg side.
Adil gives him a filthy look, and this is played up to long on for a single. So England exerting a fair bit of control finally, but 66 off 12 is still, they let it get away too much, I'm afraid, if they wanted the overs to be at all relevant. But it's always why you want 220 or 230 on the ball, because then the overs are nearly always relevant, even if only minorly. But 196, it's all about wickets. That's the only way England can win this. But I was at Lord's for the England-India final in the women's, and I think England made about 215, 220, but it always just meant, although England weren't taking wickets, it just meant that the overs were relevant. And indeed, it came into it that the last 8 overs, about 41 were needed, and it just meant that India started to panic a little bit, even though they had 7 or 8 wickets standing, and they lost them all. as this is played up to long off for a single.
Cherry
by Head.
Hinterland says adult Rashid jingle brightening up an otherwise craptacular morning.
Yeah, it's a brilliant jingle. Our compliments to the remix. It's about 20 years old. It's 21 years old, I reckon, that single.
Yeah,
came out about 97, didn't it? Here's Smith on 3, and this is just played easily into the onside. Just a little whip, lots of space.
I remember watching Corner Shop at a festival, and I think they played that track about third, and then the tent emptied as soon as the track had been played. And also, I think the one that got to #1 was a Fatboy Slim remix of it, and that jazzed up Corner Shop's normal style quite a bit. So they were not what this festival crowd were expecting or hoping to see.
Oh dear. This is played too short for a leg for no one. Yeah, Smith has got a 20 and a 15 and a 40 so far this series, so he's yet to lift off, and I don't think he's probably going to today because it's not really necessary to. What's Head going to do? Is he going to get impatient? 45 or 47 balls, it's been destructive. Ali bowls, and this is on his off stump, and he's just played to not very well protected covers for a single, and he whips the throw in. There's a guy backing up for the 4 overthrows, and it's 69 for 2.
Message Jez says why Cameron White is anywhere near this team is a bloody mystery. Leave aside Maxwell, Khawaja and Sean Marsh would both be far superior.
Yeah. Well, I think the Australian selectors have got it in for Maxwell a bit, haven't they? They kind of say, oh, well, you've got to start getting your head down and showing some application and stop being so free-flowing and natural and brilliant. You want him, I think they want him to do it up a bit. They expect more. As Ali bowls a Yorker. Spinners bowling Yorkers. Doesn't usually work. And it's played into mid-wicket for no one.
Well, Slungo says, I was disappointed when Head flashed.
That's good, that's good.
Schoolboy humour is best. And Message says that I have moved myself completely off camera. We do not normally expect such modesty of you. Well, I'm very bad at modesty, I'll agree with that. The reason why I'm off camera is I'm slouched against the wall because the wall is currently supporting me because the chair is in half collapse, so I'm somewhat stuck here.
Oh no, has the chair got problems?
If I move...
There you go, you just prefer that. It reclines
if I move
slightly
forward,
more.
I've got to be sort of hunched up, and as soon as I go back, it goes.
Oh, well, in which case, yeah, you are putting too much pressure. In which case, I think, Gary, that me and you might swap. I think you'll be more comfortable. As this is played out too wide. Wide mid-on for a single.
Well, let's swap, or let's do a rotation at 10 overs. I'll be okay. I think the world is not missing much if I'm not on Facebook Live. I know it's a good chair, it's an improvement on what we had last time.
But it's still bought from Ryman's for 48 quid, yeah. It's I've had it for about 10 years actually. Yeah, it's done me well, but maybe we can do better. Right, that is what happened there, Ian.
It was just played out on the offside for no run.
And this is a lovely leg spinner, absolute Jaffa cake, and he slashes at it. Smith didn't like that at all, and it's through to Butler. Big play and miss there. Come on, England, another wicket here, and it just keeps you dreaming. 4-0. When did you last do that against Australia? As this is played back to Rashid. And the umpire signals 1 ball to come in the over. No, what did he signal that for? That's confused me. 2 balls to come in the over.
Yeah, they always signal 2 to come, don't they?
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
There you see.
Just to each other, so they know they're in sync.
In the hot zone. Oh, and it's caught! Brilliant catch! Best piece of cricket of the day by England. I did think that Rashid was going to pick up a wicket, and this is absolutely fantastic. It's a replica shot to the one he played 2 balls ago when he missed in the Jaffa cake. This one he's got a snick on it. Fantastic reactions by Root. Australia 3 for 70. Oh, we got a game on our hands.
How's that? You missed about, I caught you out. How's that?
A bit of Yorkshire in that. I suspect Joe Root has stood at slip to Adil Rashid a bit, playing for Yorkshire over the years.
Yeah, you'll be coming in here next, and Ian is going to entertain us while me and Gary swap because I want to save the chair.
So yeah, great bit of bowling there from Rashid. The previous delivery, there was one that was quite close to him that just missed the outside edge. This one a bit further away. Smith's decided to prod at that one, and he's only succeeded in edging it to Joe Root at first slip. Steve Smith gone for 4. He is absolutely furious with that one. He's tried to cut that one. It's far too close to him to cut. And great stuff. So is this game on? 70 for 3. We've had 13.5 overs. Mitchell Marsh is going to be the new batsman, so I'll get his jingle out as soon as I can find it. And
there's a synchronicity with the wickets going down, because Abhishek Chopra points out that India have lost 2 more today. One down from the end of play at the Wanderers in that splendid series. We've seen some fantastic bowling and some brilliant batting, some injudicious batting, but some really wonderful batting. Really wonderful bowling, both sides. Mr. Ed says Cameron White in the team is another example of the captain's mates in the team rather than better players. Remember Katic and Clark.
I think that was one of the best slip catches of the entire summer, don't you?
Nice height, nice height.
Fantastic.
It would have been hit very hard.
And he probably had 0.2 of a second to react to it, and it just stuck in his hand, only just though. What an amazing game of cricket, actually, if we think about it. I mean, 8 for 5 is just something you see once every 10 years or something. And now England are making a real game of it as well. 2 remarkable things have happened today, but a few more remarkable things need to happen for England to still get close.
I'll just do the Mitchell Marsh jingle.
Why are the selectors always picking me? Because your name's Mitch Marsh and you look funny. Why are the selectors always picking me? Your batting at 6 is a tragedy. Why are the selectors always picking me? James Booker finds this a bad comedy. Why are the selectors always picking me? You paid the selectors a truckload of money.
Well, it's a bit of a dated tweet, that. I'm afraid he's been playing rather well this summer. As we have Ali starting his 4th. He's gone for 8 runs.
Surreygal 55 points out, surely TC's jingle should be the Top Cat theme. Close friends get to call him TC.
Indeed. That was very much part of my youth. This is played into the covers for a single.
Providing it's with dignity is the next line.
So let's have a look. Who have we got? Stoinis is a good player. He's been hitting the ball very flush lately, but is more of a stroke maker. Pain is pain, and then a very long tail. So England need to get rid of Head, we believe. 3 for 71, another wicket, and the match is pretty much. Do we think match in equilibrium or another wicket?
Not quite. I think we need 5 down for that.
5 down before 100, though. 5 down before 100.
Maybe even 120 at a push.
Oh, well, it's 3 for 70 now, so you can see how close England are to getting back into this match, but they've been trying to do it since 24 minutes past 3 this morning, which seems like a long time ago. But
it was.
Absolutely fantastic effort at a fight back this by England, really good stuff. I mean, imagine if this happened in the World Cup final, how excited we would all be, my goodness, how depressed we would have all been at 8 for 5, and then how we're kind of, oh my god, we're dreaming again. Right, Ali bowls, and this is very nicely done, just teasing him and drifting in, and it's played back up the pitch for no run.
Nakul Pandey points out that we might have the Top Cat jingle somewhere in there if we search for TC.
And this is driven into the covers, a diving cover. England can't afford to give runs under diving fielders. Are they going to come back for 3? They do not, I don't think, no. So just a couple there for Marsh, he's off the mark.
The reason Nakul knows that is that he sent it in. So maybe it's there buried in the deep recesses of the memory banks.
And that would be for Cohen, would it?
Yeah.
Unless we've got other TC cricketers in our midst who don't leap to the mind at the moment.
I think the memory of that computer's a bit like Inside Out. I think it
Oh,
works
found
on
it, yeah,
works on marbles.
This is driven into the covers. There's a sweeper though, because the covers couldn't get close for a single. 74 for 3.
Yeah, it's on the main England bank, so if he comes back onto bowl, we can play that one for that.
On more Maxwell news, Slungo says, I believe Maxwell and Smith have a personal antipathy. It's not so much the selector's fault. Perhaps Maxwell doesn't think the sun shines out of Smith's fundament. So there's an enduring image.
Ali bowls, defended by Head for no runs. So 15 overs gone, 74 for 3. England have taken, bizarrely, England have taken that 15 over parlay. They'll have absolutely snatched your hand off for it, but they've gone for a few too many runs. So the run rate is still completely irrelevant.
Well, Head's ridden his luck, hasn't he? I mean, that's the way one-day cricket is played these days. They hit the ball hard. If it's in the air and it gets caught, you shrug your shoulders, you walk off. But if not, you take the 4, you take the 6, and
Are you sure you're not talking
go
about
on.
2020?
Well, I mean,
it's become more.
Sides are scoring plus 300, aren't they, regularly? And I mean, the first match we said 306, or England were chasing 307. It's nowhere near enough. England just knocked it off at your leisure. So it's.
But the price of a wicket is still far greater in one days than 2020s, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't think shrugging. I don't think people are shrugging their heads so much in one day when they lose a wicket. I think it's still a very big deal, as this is chopped into the covers slightly short this by Rashid, and Marsh is pouncing. I don't think any of the England top 6 today was shrugging.
Yeah,
game.
but Jason Roy has said that though, hasn't he?
I think Roy's got the licence to do that, but maybe not so much.
And
the others.
KP gave himself the licence to do it, didn't he? Throughout his England career, it's the way I play. I don't play the match situation. See ball, hit ball. And I think we got a bit sick of it eventually.
Just do the
and
4.
This is, and this was nearly another 4. It's played up to long on for a couple. England continue to leak runs swiftly, but if they keep taking wickets every 27 runs, it's going to be interesting. We'll still lose by 2 wickets, but
what I would like to see is some of the philosophy that is in that batting to keep attacking, to keep going in the bowling and the fielding here. We've got one slip, which is good, but I think we need to attack with the ball.
This is played into the covers for no run.
I mean, it is the kind of mirror image of keeping going when you're batting, when you're 20 for 3 and you keep playing attacking strokes. And to be fair, Owen Morgan has attacked, but I think he could have attacked more.
Okay. As what happened here? That was the wronger, or what do you think? Went straight on. It's not really turning much for him anyway today.
It's a googly for
There's
sure.
just enough turn though, isn't there?
Yeah,
It
that
did
came in.
deceive him.
That came back in. Definitely deceived him, and it was a brilliant ball actually. Yeah, it came back into him. Would have bowled him if he hadn't got that little inside edge onto it. So he bowls again, and this one is going straight on, and it's short, and there is a sweeper there mercifully. So just a single, and England continue to fight.
See, would it be wrong to suggest a short leg, because Marsh obviously can't pick the googly? I mean, we can see the googly on the television, and it's very clear because you get the back of the hand going to the batsman rather than the side. But Marsh can't pick it, so a man in short on the leg side?
Or maybe just a sort of close catcher in his eye line.
That's a brilliant diving stop by Adil, and there's no run to end pricey over of 7, and it's 3 for 81 of 16. Oh, look at Steve Smith, has been dismissed 3 times this series to spin for 64 runs, so he hasn't enjoyed the spin, and only took 96 balls to get those 64. There you go, there's a weakness. Bowl spin at Steve Smith in one days. But that was an absolutely fantastic catch by Root at slip. A 9.5 out of 10, I give it. And Stoinis coming in next, then Payne, then Cummings. So, my goodness, because Stoinis is a bit of a dasher. He's not going to like not being able to play his strokes. Of course, he got out the other day when Australia sort of not quite had the chase in hand. It was a difficult chase, but he was I think
he was really tied down, wasn't he? And then that
to,
just sort of Australia's chance went with him.
This is whipped off his pads, I'm afraid. It was a full toss by Marine, and it's 2 runs to deep mid wicket area as Marsh moves to 12 and Australia to 83 for 3. So England's already, that's a problem with so few runs on the board. You start getting desperate for a wicket so soon after the last time you got it. Now this is very wide, terrible ball, one of the worst balls you'll see today. It would have almost been a wide if the batsman had gone for it. Instead he smacks it through the covers. So easy, 4 runs. And Mitch Marsh has just got the look of a man who's scored a lot of runs in the last 6 to 8 weeks of his life. He's come in, he's had 11 balls and he's smacked England for 16. That's gross. As Ali bowls again. Oh, now then! That was nearly out. He plays and misses and nearly gets a snick. Could have got bowled.
I wonder if it wasn't a chance.
Let's just see whether... let's start to put this down. Don't think so. It was a very poor replay that. This is right on his off stump and he's right forward in defence. Oh yeah, we're just seeing the replay of the slap through the covers there. That was terrible. I don't know what he's doing bowling out there. Tries again. This one is played off his off stump to mid on for no run. And now we're seeing a super slow-mo. It was a good looking shot, but to an easy ball. I think the ground might be filling up very slightly as this is played up to mid on again. Incredibly empty all day, but we're seeing people there now. So, a good comeback by Marine after a very bad start to the over with a full toss and rank very, very wide ball. You got 4 dots.
Well, Abhishek Chopra is in with another question, but I'm afraid it's a rather straightforward one. Because here's another one. Former England keeper Godfrey Evans was an advisor to a company after retirement. Apparently his advice made his company give out an implausible offering, which, in an upset, made the company lose 15k or £15,000. What advice?
That would be the 500 to 1, and it's the company I actually work for.
And that's Headingley 1981. Nigel Henderson, our very own Guerilla Hendo, says, I seem to have accidentally picked up someone's phone.
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave that there.
That'll be...
Hendo, I did wake up from my power nap and I did look for my phone for about 8 minutes and I couldn't find it. And I thought there's only 2 things that have gone wrong here. Either I've kind of lost the phone that's impossible to lose in a single room because there's very little crime in the building, or and then I couldn't think what the other option could be, quite frankly, and it's you Burke. Right. Well, could you call me on it? No, don't do that. I think we're going to have to meet up for a date, aren't we? We're going to have... could you tweet in to say if you're going to be in the Wimbledon area at all? Now this is an appeal for LBW, is it?
Bat and Pan, I think.
Yeah, so tweet in Endo, it's mine, and yeah, I'll take it back. And all is well. Willie's found his phone. Stolen by the editor.
Marsh has got absolutely no idea of the wrong one from Rashid here.
Good. Well, hopefully we'll see more wickets then, as this one is just a conventional leggy and he's right forward to it. And the umpire, it's really cool, this little sign. Should I have known that the umpire always signals 2 balls to go like that?
They always do.
They always do.
Yeah.
You'd have thought I would have picked that up by now. And
it's usually quite sort of
35 years of watching cricket.
Slightly fey.
Slightly fade. So now this is up in the air. Is there a fielder out there? This is one of the most exciting moments of the day. It's 6. I thought they would got onto that too much.
Turned out to be 9. Oh, I don't mind. Oh, I don't.
I think that was Glenn Maxwell in the crowd milking it there.
Yeah, very high, wasn't it? But long way. quite short, the boundaries though, that side, aren't they?
Here's Adil bowling. Yeah, it's short on the sides at Adelaide Oval because it's an oval, but it did go very high, and I did get excited for a sec. There was a fielder out there, but it was caught in the crowd, and that would have been a huge moment in the day. So Australia have whipped to 100 quite quickly. They've got some collateral damage. They've lost 3 wickets, and they've still got 5 more runs to go to get to that 100. England still very much in this match, but they need a couple of wickets soon.
I mean, that was a bit of a hit and hope, wasn't it, from Mitchell Marsh, because Rashid was having him on toast, so he thought, well, I'm going to give it a blast here, release a bit of pressure with a 6, and you know, often that's the right way to go about it in the one-day game. But Rashid should get his man sooner or later. Let's see. Abhishek Chopra says, too easy, 10 points to you guys, let me dig up another one. So Godfrey Evans was an ex-England keeper who would often be referred to on TMS at the time as the odds setter for what were then a kind of much narrower range of bookmaking options than you have these days. And I often think some of his odds were partly to get them to talk about it on TMS, because they did talk about it a lot on TMS in slightly sort of ways in which the BBC perhaps are not supposed to, but there used to be lots of talk of Godfrey Evans and his odds setting and so on. What company was it? You can say it on this.
Ladbrokes, which is also Ladbrokes Coral now.
Is it?
Oh. Yeah, a lot of change.
Do you say, and you help them out a bit, do you, with this and that?
I've done a bit of county odds compiling, because that's my sort of speciality, if you like. Is it all
just done off algorithms now?
There is, but I mean, you still have to set your main price, and then everything else is derived from that, if you like. So you sort of put in your ratings for your players. So Glenn Maxwell would be +3 and things like that. And it's
well, Ladbrokes are one of the one of the about 3 or 4 companies who don't accept my business. I just had the minor hot streaks with them. I mean, it lasted about 3 weeks, and I was kind of on average 20% up. And they just said, sorry,
it's a big issue.
We're a profit-making company, sir. What do you expect? You expect us to take your business? And I go, but I'm up about, I'm up a couple of, I'm not allowed to talk about money, are you? But I'm up a bit. Come on. I promise you I'm down everywhere else.
It's
and, they shut me down very quickly, actually, to 1p a bet I was allowed.
Big issue in the industry, though, at the minute. A lot of noise in the industry about that. Probably talk to you more off air about that.
Speaking of off air, Hendo says, if you're coming past South Wimbledon Station, you can pick it up from me. We'll DM my address. So a bit of domestics between yourself there, Will, and Hendo.
Okay, how's he going to DM me? Don't email me, whatever you do. And so how's he going to DM quickly?
I'm not sure. I'll have to leave you two to rendezvous.
South Wimbledon, I can just about make it South Wimbledon. It's a bit out of my way, but yeah, that's all right. Bloody nuisance, the whole thing. What the hell's he doing? But I guess we probably have the same maker phone. That's probably what's happened there. Hey ho. Right, 3 for 95 of 18 overs.
Head on 49. It's been a bit of a one-man show, really. I know Marsh has hit a few boundaries recently, but he hasn't looked in peak form. Warner, I felt, was a little tentative. He played some decent shots, but you're right. I mean, the whole summer, Warner has been kind of wanting to be David Warner, but somehow restricted from being the full Warner. And I don't think it's a look that's particularly suited him. I know there's, he's supposed to be calmer in his life now and more at ease, fatherhood playing a part off the field and everything, but somehow he doesn't seem to quite have the aura in either red ball or white ball cricket this summer that he's had in previous summers. Maybe the game is catching up to Warner, I don't know, but his record in the Test series was good, but a lot of those runs were scored on a flat track in Melbourne.
Oh dear, this is pure filth. And it's been punished. It has gone for 4. I mean, that was a rank long hop outside his leg stump. We're just not used to that for Moeen. What are you doing? And it's just whipped around the corner for 4 runs.
2 + 2 is a number.
He's very lucky to be getting the 6th over here, particularly because Root, this summer, when Root has bowled, he's actually bowled quite well. And Moeen, it's just not working. Everything looks out of sync completely.
Yeah. 0 for 22 or 5.1. He tries again. This one's much better. But mid-on is there, and there's no run. 99 for 3 Australia. England searching desperately. They said, Ian the Guru, the odds setter, has said that if England can get a couple of wickets before Australia get to 120, they're back in the game. And this is swept, is it? And it's maybe hitting the top edge of the bat, but I don't think so. Probably just the pad and no run. We're looking at what do you call that? An aeroplane or a jumbo jet or what?
Well, jumbo jet with propellers, no?
Yeah, exactly. And this is driven through the covers. Is there a sweeper? Yes, there is. And he picks it up, and it's just a single. The 100 is up for Australia. England have massively struggled to keep the runs down. Maybe it's Air Force One. No, I don't think Donald Trump is in the building.
It's probably some fly past for the Australia Day celebrations.
Okay. Right, England's creeping into desperate trouble. 97 needed off 188 balls. Moeen bowls, and this is chipped. A terrible shot by Head, but he's safe. He chips it over mid-wicket, and Sweeper gets it, and he salutes his buddies in the dressing room. It's a good innings, 50 or 55 balls. I don't know if he's cementing his place in the team for the summer ahead. See what I did there? And it's his 750 and 33 ODIs, and he's had 100.
More news from Hendo asking you to call him when you come off air.
Yeah, off my phone probably. And this is played into the covers for no runs.
Messages.
So off the over.
Messages has a tricky one here. It says, okay, here's one for you to guess. Ken Suttle of Sussex played more consecutive county championship matches than any other player between 1954 and 1969. How many games did he play consecutively?
Ooh, so that would be 15 years. And he probably played in the region of 30 odd games at that time.
Okay, 410.
I'll go more 550.
Wow.
Be my guess. Because Mark Wallace and Glamorgan played a lot of consecutive games.
Oh, and this is driven. It's beautifully driven. And I'm afraid it's 4 more to Australia. England are just letting this go rather quickly now. As Head goes to 54. Bit of a half volley there by Rashid.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
So 3 for 105, Rashid 1 for 23 off 4.1.
Yeah, I reckon it's around the 500 mark. I'll say 502.
Absolutely phenomenal. As Rashid bowls again, and this is played in short cover for no run.
I think Head picked the wrong and they're rather better than Mitchell Marsh did.
Yeah,
He definitely picked that one.
Rashid is still going to be halfway through his over, so he needs to start picking up this 8 for 35. As this is on his middle stump in the end, and he goes back and plays it to the bowler. Slightly short of a length, but gets away with it.
Shall we swap kit at the end of this over? If
Yeah,
that
you can
suits?
just yeah, exactly. You can pass me back the laptop as Adil bowls, and this is good. This nearly gets through him. In fact, England could have picked up a 4th. That would have been titillating. But as it is, he gets away with it. It's all about the fact that Australia are in no hurry whatsoever, so they just don't really have to take any risks.
They've got a release shot, haven't they?
Yeah.
Or there's a
And this is tying him up a bit in knots as well, then just going back and playing it into the covers off the top of his off stump. For no, this is a very good over by Rashid.
He's rather out bowling his opposite number at the other end
He
here.
sure is. As comes in again and bowls, and this is a perfect ball on the off stump, and it's quite close to a maiden now. What did happen in that over? It was very close to a maiden. I just have to check on that. I think it was. We're just going to.
We'll wait and see. But I mean, we were all very excited, weren't we, when Steve Smith got out? But it's all got a bit flat since, hasn't it?
The problem with a total of 196 is that you only really need decent scores from 2 batsmen, so you can afford to lose those wickets, because it's the other thing about a score of 240. It's not just that the overs come into play; is that you can't just keep losing people for 30. Sooner or later somebody's got to stand up and make 70 or 80, and certainly Travis Head is playing quite a decent hand here in the power play. He was all power. He's settled down a bit here, but he's not getting bogged down, and Mitchell Marsh is playing like an all-rounder. He's playing like a number 6, albeit he's a notch higher at number 5. And England have gone to Joe Root, and he's in, and this is wide of off stump, and it's flashed very hard to the man who is sweeping, who is Mark Wood, somewhat surprising, sweeping on the cover boundary, and they're through for a single. Root's only got one more match to play, hasn't he? Because he's going home. He's not staying for the T20. So there's no need to protect his back particularly here. He's bowling in the shades, round the wicket to the left-handed Travis Head, who has 54. He's got no slip, which is a bit of a shame, but he has got a man on short cover. It's a decent ball, curving into the left-hander. No run. Moeen's at short cover. I definitely have a slip. Root's in again. He tosses this up, and down the track comes Travis Head. Hits it hard, but not full blast, to Johnny Bairstow, who is at long off, and they walk a single.
We're seeing some retro footage here from, what's this, 86-7? Yeah. When England couldn't lose a game in that, well, we did lose a few games, but we couldn't lose a trophy, could we? We won all 3 trophies we went for.
Wide of off stump there from Joe Root, and it's cut by Mitchell Marsh, the man sweeping for that shot.
Right, I said about 410 consecutive games. You both faffed around in the 500s. It was 423, a record which certainly won't be broken. Oh, you never know.
That's from Root. That was very full, and it was driven, but without any timing by Head. Fielded by Root off his own bowling. He's in again, quick through his work. Defended with full face of the bat. It's the end of the over. Rather better from Root than we saw from Moeen, I'm afraid to say. He just 3 from it. The Australians 108 for 3. The target 197.
I mean, if they keep reducing the championship like they want to, it would take someone about 40 years to play 423 consecutive matches.
I didn't even really pick up about the going down to eight teams in Div 1. It was last season, wasn't it? It was quite subtly. I mean, it wasn't a massive fanfare. There would have been more news if the Premiership football did the same. Premiership down to 8 teams.
Yeah.
But it almost passed me by that. Hence why I was so surprised when Middlesex went down.
Well, even more bizarre in the 2nd division, they don't all play each other, do they?
Yeah, exactly. They're not playing a maximum amount of home and away.
It's not all against all. As that ball is cut again to the man sweeping on the offside. The game is in a little bit of stalemate here, in that the Australians are picking up singles, England are allowing singles, and they're quite happy, the Australians, to face a couple of dot balls or so each over, knowing that the target is somewhat emaciated. This is down the leg side, and it's just tucked off the pads. An example exactly of what I was saying there. There's a single there, and the Australians picked up the single rather than trying to hit the 4.
But
they go to 110 for 3.
That was the case, of course, when there were 17 or 18 in the old league, and you played about 22 in a series. Didn't come anywhere close to playing everyone twice, did you?
No, this ball is just pushed again for an agreed single, and Moeen does the work again, this time from backward point, because of course we've got left-hander and right-hander, so the fielders are moving position without moving very far on the field, or they're moving designated position without moving very far on the field. Travis Head again, left-handed. Sadil Rashid is in, and he goes back and slaps this one. Bit of risk there, exposing all three stumps, and he only gets one for it. So perhaps there's a little more anxiety in Travis Head than I was claiming. He moves to 57, Heinz Varieties.
You must be gutted though if you're perhaps a promotion chasing county in Division 2 and you get your fixture list and you see you've only got Leicestershire once, whereas your perhaps closest rival's going to play them twice.
Oh, is this out? Is this out?
It is out. It's
amazing.
A full toss. Mitchell Marsh could have hit it anywhere, and he chose to hit it straight back to Adil Rashid. It was middle, but it wasn't middled with enormous power, and Rashid just took a regulation return catch. Mitchell Marsh can't believe it. He's dragging himself from the field. He's out for 32. The game changes again.
And the look that Adil gave Mitch there was absolutely brilliant. It was a complete reflex catch, very jam. He smashed back at him, and then he just puts his hands to his sides, going, "What can I do?" He's like a waiter in a restaurant saying, "I'm sorry, sir, le boeuf is off. What can I do?" You know, and it was almost apologising. Sorry, mate.
It's the second catch that's been quite sharp after roots at slip, but both have come at really nice heights. You know, the hands have been just there to intercept balls. So we're into the all-rounders now, if we weren't already, with Mitchell Marsh. The next man in will be the, I want to say Stoinis, but it's not Stoinis, it's Stoinis, isn't it? It's Stoinis. It sounds like a kind of Cockney gang. Oh, Stoinis. Should be played by Danny Dyer.
Let's get Messi's stat fest out the way. The 423 over the course of his career. Has he given us this guy's name yet? He scored 30,000 runs.
Ken Suttle.
3109 and 266 wickets at 32.8. So his negative, his equity to the team was negative. Therefore, he should never have been picked. My best memory of him was taking 3 for 0 off 3 overs against Surrey at Hove in 1965, yeah, that's right.
There's Kumar Dharmasina's face there. The umpire can't believe that Mitchell Marsh has chosen to hit a ball that he could hit to literally any part of Adelaide, including the outer suburbs, and he hit it straight back where it came from. But there we go. Rashid will be happy to exchange a bit of a bruise on the finger for a wicket. Australia now 112 bought 4. We're in a 22nd over, not that the overs count that much, because the target is 197.
I'll do Stoinis jingle.
All the side wants is a Marcus Stoinis. He's the solution, and all the side wants is a Marcus Stoinis. Yeah.
Oh, ace of base, same. Were they one-hit wonders? No, I think they had a second one.
Yeah, they might have had a follow-up.
Not exactly ABBA, though, were they?
I saw the sun.
Yeah.
We used to sing that in nightclubs in Boston in the early 1990s. Right, a couple more tweets. One thing's for fucking sure, the rootster can't stay his fatigue from his batting, says Roger Melly. A bit tetchy there, Rog.
Full on attack here, though. Leg slip, 2 short covers. This is tremendous stuff here from Owen Morgan. He is really going at the new batsman here. There's even a short mid-wicket as well. Tremendous stuff as Rashid in. Stoinis comes down a track and lifts him. First ball, high, over, long, mid-on. He smiles because he didn't get all of that, and had he missed it there, then Morgan's attacking field would have done its job. Well, good on you, Owen Morgan. It's the end of the over. Australia 116 for 4.
Yeah, I went...
Yeah, Morgan was saying to Stoinis, I don't think you can bat, and Stoinis took the bait and very nearly showed him that he couldn't. I mean, to do that first ball when you've got only need 85 or 28.
He would have definitely looked him up.
He would definitely have looked him up at Grover, perhaps, or
or the Cookie Monster.
The Cookie Monster.
India 3 down now, says Hawkster. Looking forward to the new Saffers Pacers taking the Aussies apart. James Humberson, we got this. James Humberson, are you English?
He is, yeah.
Yes, he's there though.
Yeah.
He's there at the ground, I believe.
No, he's not at the ground
He's not
today, I think, but has been watching the Ashes. And
well, here's England's biggest gun of the day, Mark Wood, and he's in with a very sort of tennis ball bouncy bouncer to start, which Travis Head gets his head under.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a bit of plunky wonky, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would, round the wickets.
Nearly, England rode that storm remarkably well for him to drop out at 1.2 overs into the affair the other day, and they covered for him brilliantly, didn't they? Of course, with picking up those 2 wickets.
Wood again at the wicket, and this is driven by Travis Head, but he's not got the freedom he had during the power play, and he can only get it to Chris Wokes, who's probably due a bowl quite soon himself, and there is no run.
It would jingle.
Do you know Mark Wood? Yes, he is an England bowler, quite good and pretty quick. So just a normal guy. Of course, except for just one thing. What? He thinks that he's a horse. Right. What?
And he's on leg stump, and again that's good work in the field. Quite quick across the ground was the man at short mid-wicket, who I think was the captain, and keeps Travis Head on strike. He's just beginning to get, I think, a little agitated, Travis Head. He's faced 3 dot balls in this over from Mark Wood. I mean, batsmen have a way of thinking, don't they, these days? They're not really looking at necessarily the asking rate. This ball is defended, no run. They feel it's a kind of mini crisis if they face 4 dot balls, regardless of what the scoreboard says. I mean, I would be quite happy to, well, I was always happy to face 4 dot balls, but I mean, I think you should be happy to face 4 dot balls. I think, well, if this over slides by, there's plenty more to come, but they don't think like that, and I think there's a big shot coming here. There's a big shot from Travis Head.
Okay, I think it's going to be a maiden. So here we go. Is it going to be a maiden? Is it going to be a big shot? It's a big shot.
As that deserved a big shot though, because it was short. It was outside off stump, and Travis Head could have hit it anywhere. He chose to hit it with rolled wrists along the ground to cow corner for one of these. It's a bit disappointing that from Mark Wood. I know he's trying to take wickets, but he's already seen with the first ball of the over that the bouncer is just going to stand up and say, hit me. And sure enough, that bouncer did stand up and say, hit me. As Wood's in again, he finishes off with a length ball on the stumps, and again, it's well fielded by England, who are on their toes in the field. Young Johnny B there at short cover. It's the end of the over. Australia at 124 4.
Oh, you said 120 for 5, Ian.
I know.
We've got 1-1 to play with.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to see, isn't it? Rather than what would happen.
Run rate is nearly up to 1 for every second ball. The pressure's piling on, says James Humberson. Yeah, 3 runs and over in this day and age. Back in the day, well, India, of course, got 180 in that World Cup final off 60 overs. That was 1 in every other ball, wasn't it? So, and it wasn't deemed a disaster.
Yeah, we need a Kapil Dev-like catch, don't we?
Yes, that was good. And Benno's commentary is somehow unfortunate. That is an absolutely brilliant shot. And he's gone.
Well, Stoinis is 4 off 1 ball, and he was almost stitched up by like a kipper by Owen Morgan and Adil Rashid off the last ball of the previous over, and Rashid's got 6 to bowl at him now, so let's hope Rashid can go through some of his variations here, give him a couple of leg breaks and then do him with the wrong. And
leg slip.
He has a leg slip. He has 1 short cover and 1 slightly wider cover. As Stoinis looks to get after him and decides to play a defensive shot and gives him an old-fashioned look. A bit of byplay. But have these two played together in a Big Bash League or something like that? There seems to be some history between the two.
Yeah, strikers Adelaide for Rashid.
Rashid's in again, and this is outside off stump, and that was the wrong, and I think it was picked by Stoinis. He just defends it back to Rashid, and there is no run.
Does Rashid play IPL? Do we know? You think he'll be in the list?
Yeah, he's in the draft to be picked up.
537 of them, aren't there? 537. As this ball's outside off stump, and that's a decent shot from Stoinis because he waits for it and he's happy just to push it to Alex Hales, who's sweeping on the offside, and there is a single taken. He goes to 5.
Did it not get halved, or is that having been halved? There was a really, really long list, and then it got slashed. That 537 sounds like pre-slash to me.
Yeah. 8 teams, so.
Yeah, you've got your choices.
So Head's on 61. He's scored over half the Australians' score here, which is a splendid effort from the drafted-in opener. So this ball is in the air. It just falls short of Owen Morgan at short mid-wicket, and no run is taken. Because he's in for Finch, isn't he? He's not regular opener for the Australian 50 over side. Oh, what sort of ball was that? It was in the air. He could have left it for a wide, could Head, but instead he swept it full toss to the man at long leg, who is Mark Wood, and they jogged an easy 2. There's always something from Adil Rashid. He's, despite having played county cricket for 12 years now, something like that, he still doesn't quite seem to have full control of his action, which can be a good thing for a leg spinner, because if they don't know what's happening, how can the batsman? But he's in now to Head, and Head more conventionally takes a length, or a slightly full of length ball to long leg, and a walk, a single. 4 from the over. The Australians will be happy with that. They are 124 for 4, 78 runs, 74 runs short of their target.
73.
73. Yes, sorry, England made 196. I was thinking that was England's score of 197, so 73.
Oh, okay,
yes.
gotcha. Yeah, there's another comparison. Do you remember that exciting World Cup game against South Africa 7 years ago when we got about 140 and bowled them out and won by about 5 runs?
A South African choke? I can't believe that.
That was the World Cup where we kept winning thrilling games and kept losing games we should have won, and we lost to Bangladesh and we lost to Ireland.
That was a game.
Yeah, that was a game.
This ball is length from Mark Wood, just on off stump, and it's deflected quite skillfully really by Travis Head, and he's through for 2, playing quite well now. He seems to have got the measure of balancing his temperament with the requirements of the chase. He has 66.
He's going to want 100, isn't he? Annoyingly, he's not going to give it away now.
I think commentating on Kevin O'Brien's 100 was one of my highlights of my time ever on the mic. It was just so fantastic. As this ball is swiped really by Travis Head, it was a little close to him for the pull, so he kind of duck pulled it down to mid wicket, but he had the bat high, the hands high, and therefore there was no chance of being caught.
Well, I was sitting in the car listening to it, and I just could not believe what Ireland were about 70 or 80 for 4, chasing 330. There was just no chance. There was no chance.
It was one of the
and they touched us.
one of the all-time great one-day innings.
Yeah, I think
got to
so.
be in the
It's
top
gotta be,
5.
I think so. I think so. Just for sheer ebullience.
Yeah, and belief.
Elan. Yeah.
At no point did he ever doubt that he was going to do it. This ball is defended immaculately by Stoinis, and there is no run.
Has he bought a run since? It's kind of, I haven't seen him score a run since, but I don't think it's quite happened for him to that level.
No, I hope he's still involved. I hope he'll play in the Test match against Pakistan coming up. Ireland's inaugural Test. I hope both O'Brien brothers, they deserve it, the service they've given. I think. Oh, it's a beauty from Mark Wood, made better by the fact that Stoinis played well inside it. I don't think the ball did a great deal, but it's the kind of length that England have got to look for, pulling the batsman forwards, and then any movement off the pitch, and there is still movement off this pitch under lights, is going to help. And there's a lot of talk of cross seam and do this, do that, do the other. I think hold the seam up and bowl at the top of off stump is never a bad move, is it? I mean, you can get hit off length in white ball cricket, but there isn't much chance of that here, and that's a tentative shot by Stoinis, who just offers the bat at a ball that was well wide of the stumps, and had he connected with that, he was going to be caught by keeper or slip, but he didn't. It's Stoinis had that rush of blood from the first ball, and then since then has looked sort of paralysed by fear, hasn't he? Missed that by a mile there. Goes through to Joss Butler. It was just a regulation wide of off-stump delivery. It's quick, but not lightning quick. Wood's in again, and he gets this on the pull. It's a paddle rather than a pull down to Adil Rashid, who's at long leg, and Stoinis gets a welcome single. It's the end of the over. The Australians are 128 for 4, and I think the halfway point, is that where we are? I think we are.
Yes, 25 overs gone.
Any more tweets there?
I've lost the tweet deck, so I'm going to go and need help. So you carry on, because something weird's happened. Expand, add column, collapse, settings, tweet deck. Maybe I should go to tweet deck, but it doesn't want to help me. Okay, I'll be right back.
I think
talk amongst yourselves.
I think Godfrey Evans also did some work for Sporting Index in the early days when that was setting up.
Very possibly, yeah. I would have thought he would have been.
He was the go-to man when you were at the start of the day and talking about the spread. I remember it was quite a big thing. Spread betting sort of came in. I don't know whether it had been around for longer, but it came in big in the early 90s.
Yeah, that's right. It's sort of city traders looking to adapt.
That's a pretty good shot there from Stoinis, who got down on one knee and he swept from outside the off stump, swept on length, and Rashid got put away through mid-wicket for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And why it was a good shot is that there are wide open spaces on the leg side. Obviously, Rashid's a leg spinner bowling to a right-hander, and therefore he's hitting against the spin, but he really got into a good position and nailed that sweep. And believe it or not, he's just repeated the stroke. Slightly. They're two high-class strokes in any form of the game, but particularly in the one-day game, because you've got to pick your scoring areas, and he picked his scoring areas there and didn't try and hit the ball too hard. He might have been an LBW candidate had he missed them, but
second was better than the first as
well,
wasn't
it? There never looked to be any chance of him missing them, because he was playing them under his eyes and he was playing them with control. Was Stoinis again not trying to hit the ball too hard, and Rashid's in and now and under pressure. Stoinis does try and hit this too hard. Rush of blood, hits the ball off a looping leading edge. It goes into the covers where I think it's Joe Root, or is it Owen Morgan himself taking the catch there. Well, what is Stoinis playing at? He's had 2 fours off the first 2 balls of the over. It's Jason Roy, I think, who took the catch. 2 fours off the first 2 balls of the over. Now he's tried to hit the ball out of the park. He's got a leading edge. Jason Roy takes a relatively easy catch. What's the thinking there, Ian? I mean, I know I'm getting old.
I think he just wants
days.
to dominate Rashid, doesn't he? Or try and blast him out of the attack, and I think that's a lot of modern batters do that. They're not happy just to have, I've got my 8 off the over already. They just want to keep going and going.
But why not keep going, playing shots with the control that you played the first 2?
That's right.
I mean, that's such a high-risk shot. You absolutely have to middle that perfectly, otherwise you're in trouble. And again, you're hitting slightly against the spin. You've got a leg spinner, you know who's going to throw it up. You know, Rashid is nothing if not an attacking bowler. He's always going to put, and that's immensely to his credit, he's always going to put the bait up there. And, well, I mean, I know, and earlier I was saying England's no fear way of playing the game is the best way to play it. You're going to lose some, and when you lose, you're going to lose badly, because you are going to be sometimes, if not 8 for 5, you are going to be 28 for 5 at times. So, you know, maybe I'm contradicting myself, but surely having hit 2 fours like that, you just push the ball, get off strike, and let the other fella have a go.
Get out right now, it's the end of you and me.
Well, he's bowled well here, Adil Rashid. He really has bowled well. He's completely out-bowled Moeen Ali at the other end, and he's been, I think, much the pick of England's bowlers from what I've seen here today. And so we're not quite into the tail, because Tim Paine's Renaissance season, his Indian summer continues. He was a surprise pick for the Test and played beautifully in both sides of the wickets, and has come into the one-day side as well. And Travis Head must be wondering what's going on, just pushes an easy single. The batsman having crossed while the ball was in the air for an absolute eternity.
Tim Payne's jingle.
Pain, I can't get enough pain. I like it rough, 'cause I'd rather feel pain than nothing at all.
Oh, we've got a bit of Madonna's hanky panky for that, if we're talking about the old S&M bit. So Tim Payne has a leg slip, he has a slip, he has the 2 short covers. This is good stuff from Morgan, and he goes back and just hits slightly against the spin off the inside edge to the man at short mid-wicket, and then does a bit of Steve Smithing around his pads.
We have some fun from Katie Scott, who, speaking of betting, would you chaps know after this ball?
It's very full, defended to short cover, no run.
How to place a bet on the next Royal Baby. How do I find the best odds, and how do I place my bet? Well, you put into Google the word odds checker, and then you put name of Royal Baby, which I've just done, and you can get 500 times your money back on Waynetta, or Posh, or Rodney, or Chardonnay, or Donald. Why don't they call it Donald? Jason, Keith, these are all 500 to 1. Waynetta, Joffrey. Oh, Joffrey's 1,000 to 1 actually.
Joffrey Archer.
It's Joffrey from Game of Thrones, I think.
Oh.
Well, Joffrey Archer, but Joffrey Archer might be the next generation if he's as good as we all think.
Kylie is 250. If you don't want to make much money, you can go for Alice, Arthur, Frederick, Victoria, Fred. Hey, not Fred is on here. Albert, Alexander, Elizabeth, Frederick, Henry, James, Kate, or Catherine, or Diana, or Grace,
I think
Mary.
Katie has a way in which she's deduced it's going to be Alice, I think, as this ball is cut hard to Jason Royce at backward point, who shies at the bowler's end, and I think that'll be Moeen coming round doing the sweeping up there, as we're seeing some of the catches of the century. Yeah.
But there you go. If you do put a monkey on Waynetta and you hit it big, I want my cut. But thank you for that. But that's what you do, Katie. I hope that helps. I've got my tweet deck back, which is good. Oh yeah, I did have a question.
This is clipped off the pads to a man who is coming off the boundary at deep square leg. That's the through for a single.
Which is it? You said 120 for 5 wickets. What is it for 6, Ian? What do we need? When do we need to get our 6th wicket by?
In about 5 runs.
Yeah, in about 133 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not much, but
you're a hard
ideally, if
taskmaster,
it's Travis Head, I think it needs to be Head.
We do indeed. No, it's too easy. It's too easy.
Want to give me Head, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got Wood already, and he's in the middle of his 6th over. Travis Head has 69 from 81. He's slowed down, but that's what his team need. He's obviously looking to bat through here, as Wood half volley is just defended by Tim Payne there. You don't often see an Australian knocking a half volley just back past the bowler without any intent whatsoever, but that's what we saw there. As see more of these classic catches. That one, sort of rather bizarrely, I think, is at Lord's, isn't it?
It is.
We've gone 12,000 miles from the live pictures to some old pictures. I might well have been there for that, I can't remember. As Wood's in, and this is full again, a half volley, and Payne is happy to deflect rather than drive that into the offside. He's off the mark with a single. The Australians move to 139 for 5. This is the rebuilt Adelaide Oval, which doesn't look much like an oval, looks more like a stadium now. Rather a shame, really. White picket fences have gone. All those old shots of Bradman and Woodfull at the oval, the white picket fences, Jack Hobbs walking out to bat.
Oh dear.
Lovely stuff. Anyway, this is Travis Head, and he gets one that he can cut, and he cuts high and hard in the air. He would have to have gone straight to the man at backward point were he to have any chance of catching it. It went high over his head despite the dive. The fence for one of these. Yeah, he hit that deliberately up there. You see the hands go from low to high, wanting to get it over backward point. So a bit of risk in that shot, but not a huge amount of risk. And that's a rather strange stroke from Travis Head, because he looked like he was making room to cut that in the same place, expecting another wide one. Exposed all 3 stumps, but the ball was just defended in the end. Australia 143 for 5. I have a feeling that this game's not going to last much longer one way or the other. Either there's going to be a clatter of wickets.
Yeah, 54.
We're going to get some runs.
Yeah. They've got to do it very quickly, haven't they? They've got to maybe have Australia, I think now, something like 160 for 7. If England are going to do it, I think that's what they need. Maybe with just the tail in so they panic, or maybe Head or Payne with the tail.
Well, he's got to hold Rashid.
Make mistakes trying to farm the strike.
I think he's got to hold Rashid back a little bit here, because he's got to bowl, I think, the leg spinner at the tail and hope that Cummins and others can't.
But how will he get to bowl at the tail is the question, isn't it?
Well, he's going with Rashid continuing here in his 9th over, so and there's a single from the first ball. So if he is going to hold Rashid back, it's only going to be 1 over he's holding back. I do fancy the ball turning both ways against the tail, but Morgan's said he's our best bowler. He's got to get us to the position where the tail are in, so I can see that. So Payne scuttled a single there. He's played quite well since he came in. Gives the strike back to Travis Head, who goes back, defends. There is a little bit of turn for Rashid, but it's relatively slow turn. There's not much bounce. And I think Head in particular has watched the ball onto the bat particularly well, as it goes back and does exactly that. Gets the ball into the leg side, and there is no run. So 8.3 overs, 3 for 45 so far from Adil Rashid, who has been very much the pick of England's bowlers. He is an accomplished white ball exponent these days. Tosses this one up, and it drives, does Head, and there is no run. Again, not much foot movement there from Head, but perhaps that was a good idea, because it was very full. Had he come down the track, he might have yorked himself a little. Rashid's, and again, it's just tossed up. It is a full toss this time, and Head is happy again not to hit the ball too hard, but get himself a single to mid-wicket all along the ground.
I need to catch up on some tweets. We're talking about the IPL list. 578 is post/, says Messages. I think the original was about 1800.
Wow, really?
Stoinis and White both trying to play 2020 in an ODI. Bloody stupid. Knuckle. Stoinis trying to win it in 1 over. Yesterday in the BBL, Rashid got this is another Rashid, of course. Got an LBW decision that was missing the stance by 16 feet. Don't know who the umpire was, but maybe one of our lads could accidentally clean up one of these umpires and we could swap him in. Yeah.
Nice work again there from Tim Payne, who just pushes the ball into the offside. The sang-froid, the slow heart rate of Tim Payne coming to the fore again here. What a pick he's been. Just gets a single there, but what a pick he's been. He's the manic shoutings of who was the wicketkeeper who was picked for his sledging, the Australian keeper. Oh, he was picked because he was louder in the field.
Well, the previous one.
Yeah, God, his name escapes me. He's a decent bat, but
Neville? Wade?
No, not Peter Neville.
Matthew Wade.
Matthew Wade. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And
as easy as that.
What an upgrade Tim Payne has been on Matthew Wade in every respect. So it will be Tim Payne on strike. 3 not out from 6, 3 singles, exactly what the doctor ordered. As England move into the 29th over, the Australians requiring another 51 runs to win, and it's going to be Moeen coming back on to bowl. Bit of all or nothing here from from Owen Morgan. He's got to get through some overs from Moeen. Joe Root's bowled, I think, 2 of his overs, but he's still got some to go. As that's a better ball from Moeen, just defended by Tim Payne. There is no run.
Our bed shouldn't touch. Move over, Amla. I like it too much. Move over, Amla. You're one hairy dish.
It's just pushed to long on. They take the offered single to Johnny B.
Mr. Ed, I was reading through some sites of where worst cricket commentators are listed. Names like Ravi Shastri, Mark Nicholas, Dean Jones, Ian Haley, and not a single Guerilla in sight.
It was close. I thought you were going to say Ian Pearce then.
Thanks, chap, says KT. I've got the last 2 right, so I want to make some money on it this time. Message is sad to see that Nigel is at 500 to 1. We need it used before Nigel's become extinct now.
I think Ian's are going extinct as well.
Gary's are definitely going extinct.
Yeah.
They were only 13 last year. It made the news as Moeen is in round the wicket to the left-handed Head, who gets the ball past the right hand of the sprawling short extra, and Johnny B cleans up on the fence. They're through for a single.
I think Ian was even none or something like 3 or 4.
Was it as low as that? Moeen's in, and this ball is cut by Tim Payne. It was deflected rather than cut, and they scamper to. There's an appeal here. There's an appeal. It was good work from Joss Butler's a decent throw right over the stumps, and Butler got in front of them and drew the gloves back into the stumps. I don't think this is going upstairs. I think we're just showing a replay here. I think Chris Wokes out there, but he's well in. In fact, he was past the stumps with the bat. So a well-judged 2 there. As the umpire gave the signal for 2 balls to come in the over there, rather than for a moment I thought it was a finger going up to give the appeal out, but if it was an appeal, it was at most half-hearted. As this ball again was just deflected into that backward point area where England are conceding a single, and Moeen being milked in this over, 5 from it so far, 1 ball to come. Hasn't Tim Payne played well here? This is exactly what the doctor ordered, and Stoinis should be looking at that and thinking, that's how I should have played the rest of the over. Down the track comes Head, lifts it high, but it was a risk-free shot. There was a wide open space at Cow Corner, and he knows Moeen is low on confidence, and therefore he took him over mid-wicket. Head goes to 79. The Australians are the Tooting Bus, 155 for 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, I mean, I think that that was a pretty decent shot from Head. He knew there was spaces there. Again, he didn't try and hit the ball too hard, and helped himself to a boundary. Moeen's gone for 33 from his 7 overs. I think that's flattering him a little bit. I don't think he's bowled as well as none for 33 in 7 overs would normally suggest. Rashid looks like he's going to stay on as the sun sets.
We're going to get the floodlights on. Wahey!
As this is slightly wide of off stump, and some good work there by Jason Roy.
Nice attacking field this by England, as aggressive a field as you'll ever see in a one-day match, really.
It's got to be this over, isn't it? They probably need 2 wickets from it.
Oh, because it's his last over.
Yeah.
Oh, shame. Yep.
Payne is beaten on the outside edge, and that's an authentic leg break there that beats Payne. Drew him forward beautifully, but Payne kept his back foot in despite some sharp work from Joss Butler. A proper bit of leg spin bowling there from Adil Rashid. He's in again as Rashid. This is wider, and Payne slaps it quite close to the right hand of Owen Morgan. One of 2 extra covers standing like slips there, but he can't get it past the mid-off. They're just looking here for the catch. Sure. Is that a slight discoloration there? Was it a slightest feather? This ball is defended, no run. They're looking on the technology to see if there was a slight feather to that ball that I said beat the bat. And if so, England have failed to appeal for a catch. Not failed to refer, failed to appeal in the first place.
He didn't catch it though.
Didn't he? as this ball is hit to mid-on and they scamper a quick single again. Bit of experience there from Tim Payne. He knew his fielder, he knew his man, he knew how hard he hit it, and just got a pressure-releasing, strike-rotating single from that delivery. He moves to 8 from 15.
Very deep third man. There's no bonus points, so why try to finish early? The NT News absolutely hammering down in Darwin. The animals are starting to pair up. It's always different in Australia.
Rashid to finish his spell, me to finish mine, and Head to go to 80 with a single hit from a full toss down to deep square leg. A decent spell of bowling that from Adil Rashid. He'll finish his 10 overs with 3 for 49. Travis Head is winning this match on his own. It's a good job because he hasn't had much support.
I don't mind. Okay, I will stay. Bears. If you want to go out, Gary, that's. Oh, okay, right, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we might not be here too long, but
that was brief but brilliant. You have to see some coriander.
Yeah, go and do some work, Gary. Thanks for coming in, mate.
Cheers, Gary.
Very kind of you.
I've been trying to keep awake in there and I've failed dismally. I kept falling asleep and you kept shouting. I kept waking up. Oh, better come on. And you lot seem to be happy to keep going. So, sorry, I was quite remiss. Mo and Ali, he's going to come back on. Was he on already?
He's just done one over.
Okay.
Recently.
What was that? That's a no ball.
It's going to be a no ball, isn't it? It's one of these slippy balls, I think. He's yep. It's been a no ball. It's been slapped for 4. That's a terrible start for Mo and Ali.
What is wrong with him?
I don't know. I think he tries occasionally to give it a little bit of air with a bit of overspin.
That was nipple height.
It was indeed.
Whoa. Can't afford that with 40 to win. England were 9.5 to 1 about 10 minutes ago, and people were saying it wasn't a bad bet. But Messi Jez says it would be attractive if the tables were turned, given England's RCP rapid collapse potential.
Aerial, but straight down to long off. Bit of a clear the front leg from Travis Head there and slapped it. Didn't seem to time it too well, but it got to where it needed to be going. And it wasn't a catch.
Roger, only Australians would pick someone because he was a loudmouth arsehole.
Yeah, that's 34 required, 119 balls.
Yeah, one rate not a problem.
Indeed.
Right,
see you later, Gary.
Is leaving the building.
He's off the waitrooms. Mowing in, bowls driven back past him, but mid-off is up, so there won't be any run. Yeah, I think, what did you say? We needed another 2 wickets for 170, didn't you?
I thought 160 for 7 might have done the job.
Yeah, might have done the job. 163 for 5 isn't. That's beaten the man coming across from mid-wicket. It was Roy.
England made an amazing fight of today, but it's just too little too late. If Job, and then he's put Head in brackets, gets out soon, I think we're in trouble. But we won the Ashes in the men's and the women's. Oh, very deep third man is clutching at straws.
Yeah, on a points thing, we couldn't even win this with a points thing, could we? Only 2 points for an ODI, 4 points for a test.
But then the 2020, of course.
Yeah, but you still only get 2 points for that, so we'd have won all 7. We're only at 14 points, so unfortunately we couldn't win. That's driven up to long off, and it was long on because it was Travis Head, and they'll get a single. Payne's on 9. Australia 165 for 5. Moen tosses it. That's a good ball driven at by Payne. Beats the outside edge. Bale's again taken. He's trying to show his flashy fast hands, but his back foot never left the crease.
And Messi has replied to Rogers, only Australia were pits on because there's an arsehole, and he's just put Tottenham ? It's a bit harsh.
Cut down towards third man. Can't beat the man at short third man. It's fielded and there is no run. England trying to put the pressure on with the field as well, aren't they? They've got a lot of close fielders. I suppose you can't give anything away. You might as well. Lose it quickly and try and squeeze some runs out. Make them hit over the top at least. They might make a mistake.
I mean, that's what they did with Stoinis, and he took the bait, didn't he?
Yeah, precisely.
but maybe then he still managed to get 20 odd out of it.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? There was only 30 runs required. It's a few beefy hits and you're there. You've seen Stranger Things, though? Wasn't there a World Cup game? And I remember I was at the Nets. I used to play with some South Africans.
Yeah, well, I think I just mentioned that.
Is that
when
the one?
England got 140 and South Africa lost it.
And they were cruising it, weren't they? And they did a typical choke, a South African choke right
and all
there.
that, yeah. And Stuart Broad got a couple, yep. So
Can't see it happening, doesn't happen very often, but it's always possible. Chris Wokes is going to come back into the attack. He's only bowled 4 overs. 1 for 25. 17 dot balls.
He's on Instagram, and he's a Twitter fan. On the Ashes tour, not Ben Stokes, but he'll have to do.
And his first ball back is hit square to the man at point off the back foot by Travis Head, who's on 86, and there is no run.
James Hamilton tweets a lovely picture of him with his wife on Australia Day wearing a very bright red garish England shirt, and the missus was really pleased that I wore an England shirt to dinner on Invasion Day.
Yeah, well, you know, got to do your best for the revolution, haven't you? You know. Wokes is in, bowls full, and Travis Head tries to smash it back down the ground, inside edge, back to the bowler, and there's no run. It's Aaron Finch there, isn't it? What's wrong with him? Hamstring?
I think so.
Some good names in there. Billy Stanlake's a really exciting prospect, I think, for the 2020 series. He absolutely shook KP up. He was far too fast for pieces in the other day. Yeah, Peterson was commentating at the time, as he likes to do. And he was just going, this guy is bloody quick. I'm struggling to pick him. And then he was, and then he just slogged and was out for 1 or something. But it was, he gave a complete working over.
Who's Ben Dwar-Shuis?
Dwar-Shuis, yeah. Yeah, he's a stroke maker, I think. Bit bowls a bit as well.
Aston Agar back in that. Darcy Short. I've never heard of these people.
Oh, Darcy Short's amazing.
Yeah, he's top run scorer in it.
Yeah, he keeps it. He hit a 96, then a 97, then he got 100.
Nice. Driven by Head up to mid-off. We missed the ball that was driven out to cover. It was no run. Next ball was driven up to a slightly deeper set wide mid-off. Allows him to get through for a single.
Messagers highly recommends switching to South Africa India as soon as this finishes. Still an intense struggle for everyone. Gripping stuff. India 96 for 3. We would if we had the manpower, the energy, the vavavoom, or the spunk.
Yes, which none of us men have. Who's the youngest man in the room here? I think it might be you.
Yeah, it'd be me. Yeah.
Were you born since 1973?
Yes.
Cool. Can we hear the year?
1980.
Oh, you're such a
youngster.
baby.
You're a bloody youngster. You're 30 still. Christ, that's a long way off. Wokes turns at the end of his run. He's got 2 balls left in the over.
So you don't really remember both of them, Ashes, do you?
No, not at all.
That's played into the leg side. Out towards long leg off the inside half of the bat by Payne. They'll get a single. They're just going to cruise this now, aren't they?
First Ashes I remember would be 1989.
Oh god, that was depressing as anything.
Not a good start.
Oh bloody hell! You had a painful.
So I didn't know until 2005 what it was like to win one.
Right. And he didn't know till about the same time how you could get Steve Waugh out, which he didn't do for 2.5 matches in that series.
Wokes in again. Aerial. Oh dear. Was it wide or through the hands of the man there? I don't know. Travis Head has smashed another 4 square on the offside. It could have gone through the hands of the man at point. It could have been wide of him. From side on, it looked like it went through the hands. But we'll probably see it was about 4 yards wide of him. Anyway, it's gone to the boundary. 4 more runs.
4 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Someone's asking for more gloves already. It's Travis Head. He's not looking bloke too. Big forehead, isn't he?
Head by name.
Yeah.
Finch just gave Warner the finger on TV. Best thing I've seen all day, says Slungo. That's a nice sunset in LA.
Very nice. What do we think it's out there? 34 degrees or something? Sunshine like that.
Yeah.
That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Still haven't won the lottery. God damn it.
Well, put a grand on Waynetta to be the new world baby, and you will.
Waynetta.
Yeah, 500 to 1. You're 500 to 1 as well.
No, I think it's never going to be Nigel. There were no Nigels last year, were there, or something?
Yeah, I think we were saying that. It's danger of extinction.
You're kidding? What, in Britain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Well, I personally, I don't like my own name, so I think it's a horrible name personally, but there you go.
Dear.
My parents chose it for me, that's what I am. I could call myself by my second name, which would be James, which is an alright name.
Great name.
But I've never been into that. I never understand people how to call themselves by the second name. Your name's your name. It's what you're given.
Probably because they don't like it.
Well, yeah, but, you know, usually people call me Bear anyway, which I quite like.
How long have you been Bear for?
15, 20 years.
And is it because you tried to grow a beard and it came out all kind of bear-like?
No, Dan thought I looked like the Hofmeister bear.
Yeah.
And walked like the Hofmeister bear when I first started playing cricket with him. And it kind of stuck. And I am quite grizzly, and I can be quite grumpy.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked. Wood's back into the attack. He's got 4 overs left. And I might as well blast him, try and blast him out, I suppose. Quick hat-trick now, I might make it interesting. Talking with Morgan about where he wants his field. Play him a jingle.
Do you know Mark Wood? Yes, he is an England bowler, quite good and pretty quick, so just a normal guy. Of course, except for just one thing. What? He thinks that he's a horse.
Right. What?
Yeah.
It's currently 28.6 in Adelaide. That's the thing about Guerilla cricket. We give you temperatures to the nearest 10th. Thanks, Messi. It's the hope that kills you, says Steve Kellett. Yep, no, we all got hopeful for one of the most meaningless games of cricket ever played. But
Well, indeed. Short, inside it gets Payne. Makes an obvious step before the ball is bowled as the Wood is coming around the wicket and just turns it around, pulls it around to long leg for a single.
But I think it was very good practice for England to be in a really important game and show that you can get back into games from being 8 for 5, which England all but did at 126 for 5, I think it was.
Exactly.
120 for 8, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Who? What are you talking about? England won.
Yeah.
No, but Australia we got to 126
Of course,
for 5.
yeah, sorry, yeah.
Would have just carried on, would have been fine, eh?
Yeah,
just taking wickets.
It was that bit when we were 6 down and going really well that we could have easily got 225, and that would have been near Pascal on a pitch that's not coming onto the bat.
Yeah, very much so. Although
Anyway, not quite over. England need a wicket in the next 5 runs.
Wood is not going to provide it with that. It was nearly, he's trying to bowl a Yorker, I think. It was pretty quick, but it was just about shin high. Head smashed it to mid-on. He couldn't field it properly, palmed it off to mid-off. They thought about 2, but they settled at 1, and Payne is back on strike. Yeah, although looking at their run rate, you know, maybe scores of 300 on this wicket aren't an outlandish thought if you hadn't lost 5 wickets for the space of 8 runs inside of 7 overs or whatever it was. Wood around the wicket again, short again, can't bowl that. That's not going to get you wickets, I don't think. That's Hoyt again down to long leg. I mean, it's going to get them a single every time.
We
chance
had
of wides.
Messi says that it's very hard to compile a list of truly meaningless games as their meaninglessness means they have been erased from my memory, but we were joking about one today, which is the Under-19 World Cup. We're playing off for 9th place.
Very meaningless game.
But anything in a dead rubber, I'm afraid. I know that I'm a bit of an obsessive competitive person, but I do hate dead games. And
yeah.
I think England, Costa Rica in that World Cup, and the last World Cup was a bit meaningless, wasn't it?
Well, it was at the same time as the Moeen Ali and Jimmy Anderson stand.
Yes.
Because we were sort of flicking between the two, and obviously pretty much staying on the cricket, because that was infinitely more interesting, exciting.
Indeed, that last ball was just guided by Travis Head down towards third man. Another single.
But even when there's a series at stake, you can argue like how meaningless are, bilateral ODI series.
Yeah, any series.
Any game of cricket almost just
exactly unless it's in a world tournament, which don't happen that often. Round the wicket to Woods, who kicks that towards the stumps as it's Payne who gets an inside edge onto his pad, dribbles out just in front of the bowler.
Okay, another pop quiz for you guys. Not only are you trying to get closest, but who can get you're trying to beat each other, but see how close you can get to how many minutes Chung survived against Federer today. Try to be close.
Okay.
Minutes.
Can we assume he's lost in straight sets?
And quickly.
83.
That's not a bad shout.
Come on, be aggressive, Bear. Shoot from the hip.
77.
You win, 62.
Ooh, I was going to go 63, but I thought that was too short.
Well, it was because 6152 retired hurt.
Oh, right, okay.
But I think Fed was going to win anyway.
Yeah, indeed. So that's Fed Chilich, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to. Oh dear.
Pulled a little bit aerial, not particularly well timed. It was aerial to where a traditional square leg would have snapped it out of the sky. However, the man is back on the boundary and they get an easy single and Head will retain the strike.
Roger's asking, just wondering, have we actually fucking won anything? Is there a trophy or a cup, or are the convicts just laughing at us? There'll definitely be a trophy, but whether they have a name for England versus Australia in Australia one-day series, it should be something like the...
It'll be the Gillette Cup.
The Gillette
possibly.
Cup, or just name it after a couple of people, I don't know, the Pringle... and then an obscure Australian from the 80s.
Possibly.
The Pringle Darling Trophy or something.
Yeah, guaranteed it'll be bigger than the Ashes, isn't it? I mean, the Ashes is the smallest bloody trophy you can get. Well, the Sun...
So that's the answer. Yes, we have. No Nigel's born in the UK in 2016, but there were 3 Elvises. Who was going to have no mates now? Nick No Mates doesn't quite have the same ring to it as Nigel No Mates. Maybe plenty of Scott No Friends were born instead. But 2017, we'll have to wait for the stats on that. But it's funny, I've got 3 people who regularly email me called Nigel. I can easily get 3 Nigels in a row in my inbox.
I didn't really meet another Nigel until much later in my life. Until I met Hendo. That's played out to the mid-wicket. There's no one. Of course, Nigel Farage came on the scene, but then, there were not many Nigels around.
Oh, I did say to Nigel Farage, actually, did you know that you're the most famous Nigel in the world? If you put Nigel into Wikipedia, your name, and you booted Nigella Lawson into second place. So, and he took offence at that and turned his back on me.
Really? I thought he'd quite like that stat.
No.
Wokes is in. Head tries to cut it, but can only cut it into the ground, and it goes out to backward point. Who shies pointlessly at the stumps, and there is no run.
He gave every impression that he thought I was a moron and a wanker.
Nah.
I can live with it.
Never meet your heroes, they say.
Oh, it's one of the best lines of the day.
Let's talk about you being Nigel Farage's hero.
Of course.
Pulled with venom by Head off of Wokes, but there is a man out in deep mid-wicket boundary, and it'll be just a single. He was on to 95. Presumably in Australia winning, he gets man of the match then, doesn't he? Or Cummins for his bowling. Head probably, because no one else has scored any runs apart from Wokes.
Yeah, it's going to be Head, isn't it? Especially if he gets 100.
They always seem to favour batsmen, don't they, on man of the match awards.
Payne's done a really gnarly innings here. He's just anaesthetised England, 13 off 23.
Yeah.
Took the game away from us. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. That's a nice cathedral, isn't it?
I mean, he was doing that in defeat the other day, wasn't he? Not quite, perhaps, got the acceleration. He was trying to stick in for his partner, Stoinis, but...
Yeah. Full. By Wokes, and clipped up to wide mid-wicket. And there will be no run.
At least a new stadium will give some interest to the final ODI, says Messi. It certainly will. Maybe even Maxwell will get a hit instead of White. Probably.
Wait, I just don't get this thing with Maxwell.
Well, they don't play him.
Yeah.
He's dynamic, I'll give him that.
He's a very good fielder. Can't be any worse than after shit on this side. Wokes in again, another short ball. This is pointless. You've got to try and hit the stumps or do something. Slower ball bounces, I suppose. Roy's out there in a deep backward square leg. They'll get another single. It's only 2 off the over, I suppose, though. But you only require 1.11, so they're ahead of the rate for this over. And it would be very annoying if they got to 50 overs going on at 1 and over. And we had to sit through that. And required, what now, 60, what was it, did you get 194, 196 did we get?
196.
197. They require 18 runs to win. 3 sixes. Or they can do it in singles just like that by nudging it down to third man. There's one of them. 3 off the over. Ends the over. Wood will bowl the next one. It's a very nice sky, isn't it? Very red. Although that's all pollution, isn't it?
Mr. Ed says, apparently Nigel Farage is to blame for the knack of Nigel's being born, according to the Telegraph.
Well, exactly. Who doesn't name, you don't want to name your kid after racist bastard, anyway. Horrible little man he is. Odious.
No, I mean there were very few adults born as well.
He killed
that one off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Nigel Pargetta from The Archers isn't Katie's most famous Nigel. A Nigel extinction event. Would it be worth sacrificing Hendo and the bear to get rid of Farage?
Oh.
Maybe a Nigel fundraising party for Guerilla Cricket. Come if you like Nigels.
We could do that.
We're having Guerilla. Apparently, there's going to be a Guerilla Drinks Christmas party.
Well, yeah, late Christmas party. Get yourself into
money
the swing
behind
of
the bar.
New Year. Money behind the bar. We'll put
15 pence behind the bar.
We'll put 100 quid behind the bar.
Oh, don't talk about money on air.
Okay. Well, I think you've all deserved it, you know.
No, it's very, very, very sweet. 31st of January is
31st of January, next Wednesday.
All listeners invited.
Yeah, people can come along.
If we It's at the Pink Pussycat on Lower Regent Street.
That'll be the one.
Yep. Blackadder line.
We go to an ad break now, don't we?
Good. What are Guerilla Christmas parties like? Are they like the President's Club? Are we going to get 130?
We'll have to hand back the Patreon donations.
130 hostesses are going to be there. And we're going to have hand back our Patreon donations. Yes.
Last year's got a bit lively.
I'm corrected, Mr. Ed. There were 20 adults born in 2016. You surprise me. You really do. Is that in London or where? But it's still a stat I didn't see coming. The things you learn on this show. Right. 17 to win. 5 wicket standing. It can be done.
It can be.
But it just needs...
Doesn't look
flurry.
like it.
No, it's pain. Pain is being a pain.
He is, isn't he? He's causing us pain.
I think when we get to 7 or 8 runs to win, I'm going to go and get my phone off Nigel in South Wimbledon. I'm going to call it an excuse to leave work early. Does that sound about right to you? Oh, I've just had a look that only a father could give to a child. Nobody leaves this place early.
No.
No, don't leave us.
It's there's only 18 rounds required. It won't take long, don't worry.
Are you getting out, 80 balls early?
Yeah. I've got to meet a builder at 11:30.
Good, well, I saw it's a horrible story actually in the Mail about the guy who wanted his chimney repointing, and the cowboy builders just took more and more of his house down and said, we can't do this until we do this and do this. Eventually it's 300 grand the bill. And,
what?
And he couldn't take it anymore, and I'm afraid ended his days.
Oh,
and
man.
left his sister a very long letter saying, this is why I've done it. It's supposed to cost about 30 or 40 grand. It's up to 300. It's never going to be finished in my lifetime. There's nothing to live for.
Fucking hell.
All for a repointed chimney. Oh, a depressing tale.
Oh, I can't even believe that. It should be a couple of £100 really. Play back down the track to the bowler, and there is no run for the first ball of Wood's next over. Unless it's an extraordinarily big house. Hey! Head has not made a ton. He's made 96. England are back in it. Well, they're not really, but we like being 6 side. 180 for 6, 4 wickets required, 18
Come
runs.
on, England!
Come on, England. Who's next in?
Fuck off!
Yeah,
Just fuck
send them
off!
I think that's one of the biggest cheer. We all cheered together there.
Well,
that was impartial guerrilla commentary there.
Head doesn't want to leave the field. I don't know what he's looking at. Maybe he's thinking no balls or whatever, but you can't do that. You slapped it straight at the man. So the next man, Cummings, will be in next, won't
he? Yeah. I thought he was perhaps batting one place high, but I don't think it's really going to matter.
Well, never know. Yorker first up, bowling.
When did you want your 7th wicket by 156 or something?
Yeah. Well
so we're
gone.
24. Well gone. When do you want your 8th wicket by?
Now.
And possibly the 9th too.
Yeah.
And the 9th within 5 runs, and then it'll be an interesting finish.
It's an interesting. I think it's an interesting finish actually. I think 17 needed 4 wickets down. It's just titillating this. I mean, if it was 7 down now, it would be really exciting. So
yes. There'd be the slightest possibility, wouldn't there?
But it's just Australia are going to be slightly discombobulated about how to play this. Do they do it by playing shots, or do they do it by inky winky tinky winky tick-a-tack football? So
do Pat Cummins jingle?
VJ bowled by Rabada for 25, India 104.
Early in the morning, just before the warm-up, he has to pull out with a dodgy back.
Patrick Cummins!
What was that? India 104 now.
Yep, so they're about 91 ahead, I think. So a wonderful test match. Nigel Hawthorne and Nigel Davenport have already sacrificed themselves, but Nigel Havers may have reservations about a Nigel extinction event.
I don't want to get extended. Can't we just extinguish Farage and the rest of us stay alive? I'm quite happy with that. You know.
What else? Yeah, no, we are currently caught up, but I'm sure the tweets are going to come in saying that England are going to win. And if England win this cricket match, that would be amazing.
Well,
from 8 for 5.
It would be a very circuitous way to get my evens bet in, wouldn't it? That's played out. That's played out to point, and there's no run. Considering it probably went up to about 30s at one point.
It did. Oh, dear.
I did get 3 unders at the beginning of this innings, though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I clawed back some of it. Yeah.
Australia were going quite quickly.
Yeah.
Or was it for wickets, you mean?
Yeah, wickets,
I understand. Oh, good for you.
And they were from big spreads, you know. You might as well take them. Wood in. It's guided by Cummins. Quite nicely, really. Good control down to 3rd man, and there is no... a single. So there's nothing in the wicket, is there? It's quite slow. You can keep banging in.
16 from 92 balls. Run rate, not a problem.
Wickets, come on. Get another wicket. Who's next in?
Andrew Ty is next.
Do we know anything about him as a batsman?
If we bring Rashid back on, will Australia notice?
Quick shave of the beard.
No, it is... I wonder how quickly it would get noticed. Would the umpire immediately go, "Whoa, what the hell are you doing?" And maybe
or if he managed to bowl one delivery, what would be the penalty? Or
well, it's short from around the wicket, and Payne just pulls that down to Bairstow, who's down at long leg, and they'll get a single. I don't like this line of attack.
No, it hasn't worked all game, has it?
No. Well, you're just relying on them making a mistake to get out. Putting it basically down someone's throat, but the pitch seems too dead for it to get up and be sharp enough to actually trouble them, especially with this older ball. Now it's 34, 35 overs old. Let's go very soft. Doesn't come off the pitch with any venom. Sort of trying to bowl cutters and slower balls and get them to miss time that way from around over the wicket, really. Or maybe he's just doing it to Payne to stop him from carving him. Wood anyway, short, and Cummins just pulls this bat inside it, goes through to the keeper, and there's no run, ends that over. He's got 2 left, Wood. Woke's probably only got one left, really, isn't he? He bowled 6 up first, and he had 4 overs
I think
left.
that was his 8th, so he might have 2 left.
Okay.
Apparently the pitch is dangerous. South Africa, India.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As in, as in uneven bounce dangerous?
Yeah, must be.
Ooh, they're spicy pitches.
Yeah, it'd be good if South Africa chasing 140.
Yeah, could be quite interesting.
But it's a dead rubber. Dead rubber, wouldn't it?
Dead rubber, 2-0 down, yeah, true. But, yeah, when was the last time India won a test match? I suppose they were on 1 away from home against us, didn't they? They must have got by another test away from
Yeah,
home.
it would be West Indies, I think.
Oh, yeah, of course. And that was
in
last
Sri Lanka,
year, wasn't it?
last year they played in Sri Lanka, I think.
They slaughtered Sri Lanka even at home, didn't they? But they'd be quite used to the types of pitches, wouldn't they? Again, in the West Indies too. I mean, West Indian pitches these days are slow and low.
No, you take out Head's 96 on that scorecard, and England are winning this easy.
Yeah.
15 needed.
And in comes Wokes. Oh, he's got 4 overs left. I got this completely wrong. And that's gone down to long leg once again. It's a bouncer for the over. Insistent on bowling these bouncers.
They're just doing that maybe just to give them the singles. They can have a go at Cummins perhaps, but
possibly
that can be the only plausible reason. Otherwise, it's not a very good plan.
No, it's not troubling anybody, is it? Certainly not get your wickets, and you've got to get wickets. The only way you're going to win this game is if you get 4 wickets in less than 14 runs.
James Humberson, could somebody DM me their bank details so I can shout you around at your party? Thank you. Yes, we will. That's really sweet of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's played into the cups for no run. All you can do, just donate it through the PayPal. It's all hooked up. I can just take it out of that and put it on the
PayPal
card.
you could do, or Patreon doesn't allow the extra one off, he's saying, but PayPal you can do. Or else I'm 00229862160042.
Yeah.
So you can play that back on replay now.
You can do. It'll be on highlights going through tonight. You'll be able to download it off the archive soon. That's played square on the offside, off the back foot by Cummins. Nicely stopped, grabbed that one-handed, diving to his right. I don't know who that was at sort of gully, backward point.
Can have your autograph at the end of this.
Shied at the stumps, and there's no run. What's the 3-digit number on the back? And expiry date?
Hawks Oz may win, but they've really struggled to do it, considering they had England 8 for 5.
Indeed. It's interesting, isn't it? Wokes balls on a short ball. Cummins sways out the way, and it goes through the keeper, and there's no run.
Well, we love the game, and another wicket before 188, and it's exciting again. Gutsy stuff from VJ, says Knuckle, batted for more balls than all the other batsmen combined. Penultimate ball before lunch as well. What a test!
Ooh. Penultimate ball before lunch, that's annoying.
MJDK, I think we used 2 balls in the innings, one from each end, doing 25 each. Yes, we do.
We do. Wokes again.
Oh, that was a fish.
That was the fish. It was thrown up wide off stump. Cummins, slightly slower ball as well. No, it wasn't. It looked like a cutter. Cummins attempted to drive it through the offside, missed it, went through to Butler, and there's no run. Yeah, he was really reaching for that. He looked behind, but no one appealed. And Wokes is at the end of his run. Just a paltry 15 runs, 14 runs required to win. Oh,
14 now.
Pulled away, kind of stepping out. Cummins bunted it behind the man at backward point. There is a third man following up behind him, so that'll only be a single, and he retains strike. Wood, the bowler next over. He's got 2 left. And Wokes has got 3 left.
MJDK, happy Australian Day, gents. Thanks for getting here before the French.
Well, yeah.
So could they be speaking French in Australia?
Exactly.
Wow.
With that accent, can you imagine? Bonjour? No, I can't even do it.
13 off 84. Come on, England have just got to string those dots together to get this run rate more relevant.
God, we'll be here for a long time and not a lot happening if that happens.
Big over, you feel.
Wood in bowls and played straight by Cummins, back down past the bowler, fielded. Oh, no,
one out.
There's a run out here.
Yes, there's a run out. That's amazing.
What the hell is Payne fucking thinking? There was an easy two there.
Really easy two.
Cummins was just calling it, expecting him to come. He was watching the bowler. He was watching the fielder throw it in, and I don't know what Payne was thinking. He just stopped,
and then he had to stop, and then he gave up.
And yeah, exactly. Then he gave up. Cummins had to come back. He must be furious. I mean, that's really dumb by Payne. And I mean, they still should win this. But I mean, Christ Almighty, that was an easy two.
Oh, when do you want the 8th wicket by?
Now.
You say yes, I say no. You say stop, and I say go, go, go.
I'm going to be able to stop asking that question when we got the 9 down, because I'm going to be able to say, when do you want the 10th wicket by? And you're going to be able to go, 195, you fucking muppet.
Yeah, exactly. Anywhere but yes. Well, no, thank you, James. Humberstone has just given us enough for a round of drinks.
Oh, thank you.
Star.
Legend.
It will be spent nicely next week.
But this is, we can now say there will be 71 people attending this party.
Yeah.
It's like that line in Oh Brother Where Art Thou,
Yeah.
when there were four in the band or 3 in the band, and he goes, I'll give you $10 a piece, but the guy's blind, and he goes, but could Merton and Aloysius will have to sign X's because only 6 of us can write. And he goes, that'll be fine.
I just don't know what Payne was thinking there. I mean,
that's one of the most bizarre run-outs I've ever seen. So funny. Well, what I tell you, my little heart's going bumpity boom.
Wow.
It would be one of the most unusual and remarkable one-day wins.
It'd be a great way to end Australia Day, wouldn't it?
I think the crowd are just thinking, are we going to win this or not? 185 for 7, 13 to win. 3 wicket. England, 3 pills away from victory.
Do I just see a strike rate 240? Short ball. Payne pulls inside it. Let's go through the keeper. And there's no run.
Andrew Ty.
What is that little bit of commentary in there from Mog?
Sounds like a bit of Bill Lorry, doesn't it?
Crash down! No. That's a good shot by Payne, making up for his stupid run out of Cummins. Cuts that behind square down to the boundary. Yeah, 4 runs. We need. We need 2 wickets right now.
Not right now. We've still got 9 lines to play with. I noticed there's messages, an article about KP wanting to coach England. Everyone was unanimous about, in the Daily Mail, about what a truly shit commentator is. And he is, actually, because he's so... Everything is an exaggeration. And it's kind of... The other day it was something like, we'll just watch this ball. Oh, no.
No, it's another 4. He's decided to end it quickly now. It's Payne. 2 poor balls really. That was short and down leg, and he's just pulled it between. There was a man out at deep square leg and a man at long leg, and he's pulled it between the 2 and gets 4 runs. So 4 required to win. We could do with a hat trick, really, couldn't we?
An example was the other day, there's a Big Bash game or something, and it was kind of 48 off 5 with 6 wickets in hand. So yeah, it's doable, your favourite, but it's tricky. 48 off 5, 6 wickets in hand, you've got to go some. And he's going, there's absolutely no way in the world you could ever lose a game like this, because it's just so easy to get 48 off 5. And it's kind of, Kev, your team has won one of their last 9 games, and you've been bloody awful. So shut up, it's not that easy to get 48 off 5 overs. It's tricky.
And did they get 48 off 5 overs?
I think I can't even remember.
It's a great thing about T20.
But it's just the exaggeration is completely off the scale.
Wood in, ball pulled.
Yay,
Straight
that's
to
a
the
fielder.
man down there. Payne gets off strike. There's a single. There's 2 balls left in the over. You're going to get 2 wickets with these 2 balls, Mr. Woody.
I think we need something to get into hat-trick territory here.
Also, it's
3 ones to play with. Yeah.
They missed it. They're only going to get 1 delivery at tie now, aren't they?
Unless
they
he gets a
missed the
single.
opportunity. Yeah.
Are they not going to take the single?
You wouldn't have thought so.
No. Or he might. Well, 1 ball might be all he needs.
England were 33 to 1 2 minutes ago. They're not 33 to 1 anymore.
They're about 66 to 1 or 1,000 to 1.
Oh, Woody.
Come on, Woody. He's going to bowl. See,
No,
Ty,
he's not.
no, he's not going to bowl. Ty pulls away. Says something about someone behind the bowler's arm or something.
Yeah, Humberson has come up on the Twitter sphere as well. The stupid pound sterling has recovered a bit, but should be enough for a halfer each. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
A half is better than a mile.
Oh.
And this time, that was.
No, I think the umpire was still holding his arm out when Wood was running in.
Right, come on, England, need a wicket, I think. 3 ones to play with. 3 wickets to get.
Driven.
Oh,
no,
over the top of it.
Past the man at mid-off. That's it. That's the game, I think. It's going to make it to the boundary. If it's not, it's going to be 3 runs.
Run 3, yeah.
Good game of cricket. Very good game of cricket.
Good game of cricket. Australia should have won that with ease, considering where England were, 8 for 5. England did all right. Relatively, I suppose, to get to 197 after being 8 for 5. And most of 4 ducks in the top 6, wasn't it?
Yep.
High score 78 by Wokes, 2 33s and a 35 from Moeen, Morgan and Tom Curran.
Bizarre game. It was maybe it wasn't quite a good game of cricket because we were never quite in it. But that ran out just towards the end there. What was it? 18 to win, but then they got them off about 8 balls.
Yes. Well, they decided that at that point you just go for it, I suppose. And they could have done that a long time ago and saved us some trouble. What did you say? You said 40 overs, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it would be something like that. I think I went 35 to 40, something like that.
37, spot on. I went 30, didn't I? I was hoping they'd go for it quicker, but they didn't. But there you go. Australia are going to do win 1. That was a dead rubber. England have already won the series. It's 3-1.
We've got off work well over an hour early because England were probably about 25 minutes premature.
They would have had that extra long lunch, didn't they?
Did they have a really long
it did seem that way. It seemed. I thought it was only supposed to be 40 minutes. It seemed about 55 minutes.
I had a lovely nap.
Yeah, you did. I was kind of napping in between when you were yapping. That's it. We're not going to talk about this much more. Australia won. It's Australia Day. I suppose good luck to them, but hey, I'm bitter.
I think we can say well done for England for superb fighting spirit.
Yes.
Very, very naive, where they kept playing their shots when they could have, especially when they were 6 down and still 20 overs to go. Just see the overs out. But England fought hard there, and it. I think it'll be a really good game in Perth.
Yep. In the brand new stadium, which I won't be in for.
Nor will I.
You in on Sunday, Will?
Yeah, I'll come in and see you all, providing that Hendo promises not to steal my phone again. Could I have his address, please?
Yes, I don't have his address, but
did you text him yet? No.
No, he texted me to say you call him. So
what with?
I've got his number. No, with my phone. So you can get off air. You're calling him now. Unless you want to have a conversation on it.
To play out the theme.
Yeah, let's play the theme tune. Well, someone will see you on Sunday, and until I next see you all, good day.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Guerilla crickets. Whoa. Guerilla crickets. Whoa. Guerilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your